Robbie Williams Rewind.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of multi-award-winning singer, songwriter and entertainer, Robbie Williams.
Today we're talking about Robbie's Under the Radar Volume 3 album, and we've got Sarah Catt from Italy to join us.
Hello, Sarah.
Hello, nice to be here.
Great to have you on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, we did really want someone from Italy, because obviously Robbie is quite big in Italy. So,
oh yeah.
And as you're actually half English and half Italian, and you do speak very good English,
yeah,
we thought you were the ideal person.
Well, that's great. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the
Not
confidence.
just because of that.
No, not just because of that. No,
because we know that you're a crazy fan like us as well.
I am.
So that's the main reason.
yeah.
Yep, we always have a great time. So, and it's good to be talking about Robbie. It's good to be talking about Robbie without anyone interfering and people enjoying the same passion, because people at work think I'm mad and my friends have had enough and I don't know who to talk to really.
Yes, we can talk pure Robbie land here. No worries.
Yeah, that's good.
So tell us how you became a Robbie fan.
Well, as a lot of people know, I was born in England and I moved to Italy when I was about 9. I didn't really agree with that decision. I really wanted to stay in the UK with my friends. The only way at the time, there was no internet or anything, so the only thing I could buy was some magazines and things like that. When I started high school, I was already buying smash hits and keeping up to date with all the things that were going on and things like that. And then I sort of discovered Take That through smash hits. I think it was 93 because I was 16. And the funny thing was, I used to get to school with a bus, and there was this newsagents. They only had one copy of smash hits.
Oh.
And sometimes I got there and it wasn't there.
Oh,
And at the end, I discovered that there was this other girl who's now one of my best friends, and I used to do all the Robbie gigs with her. We used to try and steal the copy from each other. At the end, the guy from the newsagent said, I can actually order 2 copies for you. So he started ordering 2 copies, and we sort of met up in the morning and talked about stuff like that. And of course, we didn't know much about Take That and everything. Robbie was my favourite from the beginning because he was so cute, and well, we all had a crush on him, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt.
Yes.
No, not really.
And then the first time I saw them, I was 16. Take That was in San Remo for the festival. And my dad took me there by train. I think it was a 5-hour journey by train. I was outside the Ariston Theatre all day, and it was freezing cold because it's February. And he went round all the cinemas and he was watching Mrs. Doubtfire. I think he watched the film about 7 times because he didn't know what to do all day. I got a couple of autographs. I saw them going in and coming out because, of course, I wasn't a guest that could actually see the performance. And when they left in the car, I ran after the car. I don't know for how many miles I was running after this car, and my dad lost me. Of course, we didn't have mobile phones and anything, but I actually waved to Rob through the window, and I came back with tears coming down my face and everything. But that was my first experience with Take That and Robbie.
Aww.
And the second time I actually went for the same festival the following year with a friend I met, which was quite far away from where I used to live. My parents didn't know. My parents thought I was going to San Remo, which is in Italy, but we were actually going to France at the airport, waiting for them. And I was very good at school, so I just took that week off to go and see Robbie and Take That.
Oh,
So they did. My parents didn't complain or anything. Well, my parents, my mum's English, my dad's Italian, but he moved to the UK when he was 2. So basically, they're quite chilly people. They're okay. They're cool. They didn't say anything. I was good at school and everything. I didn't cause any problems. I just had this sort of habit going to see Take That and everything. And,
Sounds like me.
Yeah. And we got to France at the airport, and we were actually staying there 5 days until they arrived. and they eventually got there, and I met up with them and everything. But my parents didn't know I was in France until they got to the bank, where one of my friend's mother said, "Oh, how's Sarah in France?" And he said, "She's not in France. No, she came round and got some francs." So he wasn't quite happy about that. But eventually he just gave up and accepted it. And from then onwards, it was going to see them in Rome and radios and things like that. And as I was saying before, I used to talk to them a little bit, and I didn't take any photos at all because Rob didn't like photos. He actually told me off once because he said no photos, and I sort of put the camera down and I closed it and it clicked, and he sort of told me off because he thought I was taking the photo, but I wasn't. But I preferred talking to him when I could at that time, and we used to talk to the band as well, and that was nice for me, being able to speak to someone from where I came from. I thought I was sort of homesick, really, and so it's sort of like a magical world where things I could sort of go back and talk to friends and get to learn how things worked. Sometimes the band used to explain things, how the backstage was working and things like that, so it was interesting. And then I was a normal fan, really, because I used to go to the gigs in Italy when he came over. And then I stopped seeing him for a couple of years. I had a sort of down moment where I wasn't involved a lot, and then Anna from Naples, my friend, brought me back, and I got worse because I started queuing for days and things like that, which I didn't do before. So I've got worse in the last years. But
that also sounds like me.
Yeah,
I think we have similar stories, I think, and I don't know, it's I didn't fly over to other countries to see him up until 5 or 6 years ago, I think, maybe 7. But every time he was here, I was there, and we used to go to TV shows and everything, so we had quite good opportunities to see him. But yeah, he was always my favourite. At a certain point, I spoke to Gary once, and he was very nice to me, but then I converted back to Robbie straight away. So it was just a moment, but I don't think it'll happen again.
So have you got a favourite song or album?
I have a favourite song. That's No Regrets. It's tattooed down my ribs, and hopefully eventually I want it signed. I've been trying for the last 3 years to get it signed, especially with Soccer Aid, where he normally comes up and signs things. I asked him in 2018. That's the only picture I've got with him. He actually took the picture where he took them with everyone else. I asked him if he could sign things, and he said, "No, I'm not signing anything today." And the last 2 times I went at Soccer Aid, COVID was there, so he didn't come anywhere near us or enough to. But I really hope to get it signed one day. That's one of my dreams.
So you've been flashing your ribs at Rob?
I haven't really, because it's been too cold. But I've been thinking, if I can manage to do this, I've got to be it has to be easily reached or something like that. Otherwise, I'm just going to give him my arm. But I don't want it signed on my arm. I want him actually to sign down the lyrics. I didn't lose my mind. It was mine to give away, of course, is the lyrics, which is down here, which means something really important to me, because at a certain point in my life, I stopped doing what everyone wanted me to do or expected me to do. And I did something that was for myself and made me happy. It was tough, but it really means something to me. And it's one of the old songs that brings me back all the good memories and everything.
That's lovely.
And Life Through a Lens is my favourite. South of the Border. When you put it up the other day, it was just bringing back all those emotions at the time we had. I really like that album.
Oh, it is great, isn't it?
So come on, Rob, if you're listening, you need to sign
you need to sign my ribs.
Come on. The tour that's coming up, there's plenty of opportunity.
I've got to just jump over the barrier and sort of turn around like that. But
have you got a favourite tour or concert that you've been to?
the first tour he did was one of my favourites because it was the really first one when he was on his own. And I remember him singing in this, I think we were in Zurich, Switzerland. We drove there, and I think I must have been 20. We drove there, and there was just this sort of like it was sort of like a club. And there's only 2 rows of fans, must have been about 30 people. And he was there with his hoodie singing his songs, and it was so intimate, and it was really good. And at that time, we did most of the tours that he did from Switzerland to Italy. And we actually got in free at some of the gigs because we made friends with the guys that were playing with him, and they just put us on a list. So we actually got in. Sorry, Rob, we got in free. I think we did a couple like that.
Why not?
And that was good because there weren't too many people, and you could actually see properly. And it was good because it was just him. It wasn't the ego Robbie showing off. It was just Rob, and it's good to see how he's grown and where he's got to now. But he's still the old good Robbie that used to sing those songs in front of 30 people. So we had that in Camden, so we know it's him.
Yeah, exactly.
that was really special. I couldn't miss
the
out
under
on
the
that
radar
one.
gig.
Yeah, that was really good. So that is one of my favourites. And the 2017 was the Heavy Entertainment tour, where I did the dress rehearsal.
Oh yeah.
Getting there was really scary because, of course, all the things that happened. And at the end, I ended up going there alone without anyone I knew, really. And I met up with these girls from Scotland who I gave one of my tickets to. So I had a great time there. And that was a really important gig, I think, to be there. The way he talked to us. And I really thought at a certain point he was going to retire. At a certain point, I got really sad because I didn't really know what was going on about his back and everything. But it was nice at the end when he said, well, that's the show and this is for us now. We can sing what we want to, and sang a couple of songs for us. So, and I like the way when he talks to us, friendlies, up-fronters, or whatever we are now. I don't know what we are, but he talks to us directly. When he used to do the Instagram lives and things like that, I like the way he used to talk. It's not in a secret way, but we know what he's talking about. I don't really know what someone else that isn't in our group can feel, but I feel it as something special, really.
Yeah, I think most fans do. Yeah,
I think so.
It's something really special that we have, and I think we're lucky to have it. Our little moments. And that tour was special to me because it was the first time I was at Barrier after so many years. And the funny thing that happened, well, it wasn't funny, nothing really happened, but it's the first time when you sort of got eye contact, and probably isn't looking at you at all, but you get that sort of feeling when you're at the front. It's sort of, oh God, he's looking at me, things like that. And then he sees you the first time, and then he sees you the second time, and then he sees you the third time. I actually did 4 dates there, and they were quite close. And he was bringing people on stage. So it was sort, me and Anna were sort of like, oh, he looked at us. I thought, oh God, I'm freaking out. I don't want to go on stage. We actually wanted to go on stage, but then when you sort of realise he acknowledged that you've been there for quite a while, and thought, oh no, he's gonna, I don't want. And then he called up Ida, so I thought, okay, that's okay. we wanted to go on stage, but then he pulled up Ida, which was something special as well. But yeah, we were sort of scared. I don't really know if I want to go on stage one day. I'm not sure.
No, I'm not either.
I don't know. It's just something when everyone's looking at you and, oh God, and then you're supposed to sing and you can't remember the words, or I don't know. I don't really know if I can do it. A lot of people have done it quite easily. Well, it looks like they're sort of okay about it, but
yeah,
we'll see.
I think I'd freak out.
You'd be fine. The adrenaline would kick in and you'd both be fine.
Yeah, it would, but then I've got to remember to have him sign my tattoo. I've got to remember him to do that, and then I'll probably forget, and then I'll regret it. So, but yeah, they were special moments.
Yeah.
And they're good memories I have. So,
have you got any other good memories, like meeting him?
Well, I've met him. I met him when I was really young, when he did promotions and things like that. We do have a funny thing to tell, me and my friends. I think must have been 21, 22 maximum. And we were doing the tour, and we were actually going from one place to the other to get to I think it was in Modena, can't remember, in Italy. And we stopped at the petrol station on the motorway, and they had this green tour bus, which of course you did notice. So it was there, and we didn't go up close to the bus. We sort of parked quite far away, and of course you sort of look, which I know he doesn't like at the moment when people are staring at him. But we were far away, and we went and got something to eat at McDonald's and things like that. And when they got out from the petrol station, Rob had a water pistol with him, so he was sort of playing with the bus at the front, squirting water, and the windscreen wipers were going back and forth, right? And then he just got on the bus, and that was it. And we were listening to his music in the car, really loud volume and things like that, and sort of singing along, right? And someone was putting makeup on, we always had to be nice and perfect and things like that. We were just over teenagers, something like that. And then what he actually did, he got off the bus at the back, went all the way around the parking slot where all the lorries were parked, came behind us. We had our window open and squirted us with water inside. So we were sort of like yelling, all these girls, what's going on? And then he sort of walked away with his hand up like that. You know how he does it when he's singing, just with that cheeky smile, like I did it, I got you, and then just went off back on the bus, and we sort of, no, our hair's all in a mess and everything. But that was our funny special moment, because it was he had fun, and he was joking around with us, and we didn't even see him at all. He just sneaked behind us, and
that's brilliant.
It was really funny. So it was good, and that's a good moment we had.
Oh, I love
cheeky
that.
Robbie, love it.
Yeah, and that cheeky grin he's got, and
yeah.
So then we loved
so
him
fast
more.
You didn't get a photo or anything signed?
No, nothing
you ran away.
at all. No, nothing, really, nothing. I didn't
Tried
even
to
ask.
save the water, right?
Yeah. But yeah, that was good.
So what does Robbie mean to you?
I'm not a crazy person, but I don't like being the normal routine kind of person. And when it gets too much routinish, I don't even know if that word exists, but
I know what you mean.
You sort of got to escape and do something for yourself. And I'm a single mother with my son's grown up now. Well, grown up, he's 15. It's not that grown up, but
right.
I have been growing up, not on my own, but most of the time he's been with me. So free time is not that frequent, really. And so I try to escape a little bit when the Robbie gigs are about and things are going on. So it's just the fact of organising things, getting the flights, meeting up with friends. I've known Anna since I was about 18, 19, I think. And we weren't in the same group at the beginning, but then sort of at a certain point you grow close to people and start doing things together. And we've never had a fight or anything. It's just worked perfectly. She does her part, I do my part, and then you sort of just escape from a normal life for a couple of days and don't have to think about anything. It's just good moments and fun. And in the past years, doing all the queues and everything and meeting all you guys and the other guys that are in the queue, I think it's been even more important because it's just a nice place to be. As you said before, when we were talking before the recording, there aren't very many nasty people around us, us little group and everything. So it's just a nice place to be. And when you get there, you forget everything. And if you haven't slept, or you got cold, or got wet, or been sleeping on the pavement or anything, it's just amazing when you get there, and then it finishes so quickly. But,
oh God.
and then you get back, I've got so much energy and so much positive thoughts and emotions with me. It's sort of like getting back when I was a teenager. It's just, I never want to grow up, and it's just a nice feeling. I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but I've heard some of the other podcasts, and I thought, it's a bit like me, and it's same feeling.
Yeah,
I think. And he's always been there. I've had my ups and downs. There was a certain point where his ego was a bit too big for me, and I had some problems going to the gigs, so I didn't sort of follow him at a certain point. But then Anna brought me back in again. But thankfully, I need to thank her for that. And but he's always been there, and the music has been so important. And this is a sort of a sad thing, but a good thing. In 2006, I just found out I was pregnant, and Italy had won the World Cup. We were at San Siro. I was sitting down because I was expecting, and there was this amazing tour in the stadium, which was one of the best moments of my life. And then after that, a series of things went wrong. My mum fell ill. I broke up with Ian's dad. My mum passed away, and all those sort of things that sort of bring you down a little bit. And I was in that. I felt better, but I wasn't completely recovered. And then I think that was also the period where I didn't go much to the gigs, and I didn't want to, or I couldn't really, because Ian was little and no one could babysit and things like that. And then in 2011, when I went to the Progress tour, which was one of the most amazing tours, I think, because it brought back Take That and Robbie, and Take That and Robbie together. So I didn't really follow Take That after they all split up. Well, after Rob split up with them, but that was the first time I saw them again. So it brought back loads of memories. And at the end, when Robbie sang Angels, he normally says, this is for you and that and whatever. He actually said, this is for your mamas, which is mother.
Oh.
So that sort of made me burst into tears, but it sort of closed that sort of bad period and made me just have a brand new start. And after that, actually, I was a lot better, and it sort of closed the bad stuff and got all the good vibes back. And so
that's nice.
That was really good.
You felt like you could move on from that moment.
Yeah, exactly. So that was really good. So he helped me a lot there, and that was good. I needed it.
The power of Rob and his music and the whole experience.
Yeah.
I
think sometimes he doesn't realise how much he does for us fans. He in his when he does his he used to do his Instagrams, he used to say how much we were for him, but he didn't realise how much he was doing for us, especially when we were closed down in lockdown, and he did the karaoke. Every night, 9 o'clock, settee, watching Robbie. It was just so special. And he didn't even realise how good he was doing to people at the time. I mean, we were in lockdown before you guys, and we had all those, it was terrible in Italy. And we didn't know what to expect and everything. And we had just had this light in the evening with Rob, just entertaining us for 2 hours or whatever it was. It was just,
and he was entertaining us.
That was
really, absolute entertainment.
And he was having a great time. People sometimes just don't believe us, saying, well, we asked him to sing things and he sang them for us, and we got to hear a lot of stuff that he hasn't published yet. And we actually, the Italian girls actually did, well, one of the Italian girls in our group, I didn't know them at the time, but we did a video thanking him for the karaoke. It's actually on my Instagram in the reels, and I think I tagged Tim because of HES was on it, I think.
Tim Metcalf, yeah.
And so he replied, and I don't know if it was because he replied, but actually Robbie replied to that video, thanking the Italian girls. So I thought, he doesn't think I'm Italian because my name is Sarah Luton, but doesn't matter. He did thank us at the end. So he did see the video. It's quite funny because he's got the daddy dance in it as well. But Giada from Italy did it, and it was really good. So that's our little moment of glory.
Cool.
So if you could ask Robbie one question, what would it be?
It's a very good question. I've been thinking about this question. I don't really know what to ask because at a certain point I wanted to ask him if he could remember me from when I was young, when I used to chat to him when he was in Italy. But then I'm a bit scared of the reply because if you get a no, you're sort of disappointed. But I know he knows a lot of people from England by name. He has seen me and the other girls at the front quite a few times. I don't know if he knows my name but I'm curious to know if he does recognise me or does know I have been there for a long time, or if he does remember or realise that the people at the front have been there for a long time. It's not
I'd say he probably does.
I think he does.
I don't.
Yeah, we've had that discussion with quite a few people recently, and I think he has, even though his memory for certain things is not very good.
Yeah.
Like obviously he had a few hazy day periods in his life. His recall for fans, even if he doesn't know names, his recall for faces is just quite incredible. Like he remembers where people were stood at certain gigs, and
really?
So
he does remember.
I think it's quite likely. He doesn't always like to let on.
Yeah,
you know? He keeps some of it back, but I think he knows a lot more than people probably realise. I mean, there was a time when obviously he was stalking people's Facebook profiles and looking at pictures and stuff. Sometimes he's very overt about it, and sometimes he's quite, he doesn't say anything. But I think so.
I'm just curious to know how many people he actually realises are there all the time. Well, most of the time, and what it gives to him. I know it gives him support. Sometimes he says that you nutters at the front, I know you know my songs and the people at the back, but sometimes I think, well, even if the people at the back don't know all the songs and we do, isn't that enough to just keep you wanting to sing that song again? I mean, I know we always want to hear more. We really want him to sing more new songs, and I don't think he should be so afraid of the audience, really. I had a girl in front of me in Munich with a boyfriend, which wouldn't let me to the barrier, even if I was injured. But she was dancing along and singing. He was just standing there, and I thought,
I saw him.
Did you see him?
God.
And I thought,
he just stood there with a grumpy face.
There, and I thought, what are you doing here? I need that barrier. Please move. But I said, why did you come? I mean,
did you say that? Did you actually say that?
No, because they weren't very nice to me at the beginning. But but I thought, I don't want Rob to see that in front. It's not nice.
Yeah.
I don't think it's nice for him to see someone just there standing.
He literally didn't move.
He didn't move at all, which was quite good for me because I was behind him, so I could see properly. But so I couldn't complain
about that.
People
do tend to stick out, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't.
And he does see them.
I don't know. So I thought, he's never going to look here again because that guy's in front of me. I thought. But it's. I really would like him to realise how much he can get from us and the other people at the back, because I think other people at the back also want to hear the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And a lot of the stuff lost live is a lot better than the recorded version. It's just something.
It's great in Munich.
It's amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Munich gig was him, apart from when he was not very well, but it was just really, that was a really big show. He did really good there. He did really, really good there.
Yeah.
Tell us about, we're interested to know, obviously you've lived most of your life in Italy. How is Robbie received in Italy? How is he perceived there? I'm interested to know what the perspective is.
Well, at the beginning, when he was still in Take That. Well, when he was in Take That, he was sort of like seen as just a boy band, like New Kids on the Block, Boyzone, and sort of teenager stuff. When he split up with Take That, I think he was considered for quite a long time just still the guy from Take That. Just a teenager thing. Not that people didn't take him seriously, but didn't really follow him, and it was just the girls doing it, screaming their heads off, and it was actually like that, really. It took a while before I started seeing guys actually at the gigs watching him and realizing he is actually really good. And I think I must have been in my 30s, so something like 15 years ago, when I actually realized that when I was talking to people, there were a lot of people that actually liked him for his music and what he has been doing in his solo career. The lyrics, the musicality, the way he performed. It took him a while, but a lot of people actually do follow him and like him and think he's really big. Of course,
he's massive over there, isn't he?
He's
huge fan base.
He is, yes, he is. I had a friend with her mother come and see him, and every time I talk about him, I didn't really realise for the first sort of period, 10 years, let's say, how much he was loved in Italy, because of course you only sort of speak with your friends the same age, really. And then when you're an adult and you start speaking to other people, you actually realise that a lot of people do really like him and follow him, and he is actually really good in Italy. I think he loves the audience. The audience is really hot. It gives, like, we sing a lot and jump a lot, and I remember with Road to Mandalay in Lucca, in one of the summer festivals, we just had these pink balloons that we started bumming. When he started bumming, we sort of threw all these pink balloons up in the air in this sort of it was in the centre of the town, and it was really, that is a really intimate place to be. That's a really good concert if you want to come to Italy, actually. And we have a lot of ideas, and it's a very, I think we give him a very warm welcome him when he comes over. He is a little scared, I think, of the Italian fans. I don't know if that's because of the past or just because of the language barrier. I realise when he's over here, he speaks differently. He sort of speaks so that other people understand, because in the past, when he was in Take That at that time, and maybe at the beginning of his solo career, I don't know if really a lot of people understood what he was saying, or especially the fans, really, because English wasn't so popular.
The thick Stokey accent at the beginning.
Yeah. That's a bit weird. So, but yeah, I think he has a great time on stage when he's in Italy, really. So, and I think he loves it, and he likes the food. Ida loves the food. She is often in Italy, and in Milan we see her in the posh places, and I really love Ida. I met her in Prague after the gig. The following day after the gig, we were sightseeing, and we actually bumped into her. Wow. And she was lovely. She no makeup at all. She was just in a sort of tracksuit, the panta, what they called
jogging bottoms.
Yeah, jogging bottoms.
Track pants.
She was with Charlie and Teddy, and she introduced us to the children. That was really nice. And then Teddy sort of said, did you see my daddy last night? And I said, yes, I did. I did see your daddy. And your mummy went on stage too. And she sort of had this gigantic grin when I said that, and she was so cute. And they were actually going for this ride with the horses, throughout the city. That was really nice. And I really loved her. She was really kind, and we didn't really look for her. We sort of just walked into her, and Anna said, that's Ida. I said, oh, I didn't even realise. So that was good. And I really think, that's my personal opinion, that Ida actually saved Rob from all the dark days where he couldn't get out of it. And I'm glad she's here, and she brought out the best of him. So I think they're an amazing couple, and they're fun, and she's fun. And eventually I will also buy her gym stuff. I really love it. So, yeah.
Great.
So we probably better talk about the album, hadn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we here for?
Yeah, we're here for the album.
No,
I thought I wasn't going to talk too much. I've been speaking too much.
No, it's lovely to hear your stories, and good to hear your perspective on Rob over the years as well. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So, shall we move on to Under the Radar Volume 3?
Yeah. So Under the Radar Volume 3 was released on the 14th of February 2019. Robbie said, "Thank God for Under the Radar. These songs have a home, and I quite often read that these songs are too good to not be on a main album, but they reach their destination. They get to where they're supposed to go, and it means the world to me. The way that they're received, it kind of means more to me than the main albums that I go out and promote on TV in lots of different countries, because it feels like it's ours. Releasing those babies on a main album to the world feels as though they're defenceless and are going to get kicked. With these ones, it's just our thing we share between each other without the cool people or the big boys to pick on us."
Love it.
I love that.
He continued, "The Under the Radar series gives me and you a great connection. It's our thing. It's not for outsiders. It's for the initiated that know who I am and like it. It's reciprocated from me to you. I know who you are, and I like that too. And long may they continue. I write and I write and I write. I've written so many Christmas songs, there could be a Under the Radar Volume Christmas coming up." Ooh, that'd be good.
Oh, that'd be good.
Who knows? But I carry on writing, so these songs will appear, and you and I will have discourse about whether they should have been on the main album or not.
The album cover photo was taken by Leo Barron in Buenos Aires, Argentina, while Rob was on his Heavy Entertainment Show tour. In the lead up to its release, Robbie teased fans on his vloggy episodes by asking us to choose between songs in a battle for inclusion on the album. Some songs provisionally mentioned online were never included, such as Voodoo Ray, Nothing, and Outrageous, unless the titles were changed.
Yeah.
And the album came in 3 formats: Super Deluxe CD, Standard CD, and Digital Download. The Super Deluxe provided 3 photo cards, one of which was signed by Rob and inserted into the front cover, a lyric booklet, window sticker, fridge magnet, a printed message from Rob, 2 exclusive download tracks, and a complimentary download of the album. What a package of goods.
It's a really nice package, actually.
It is a really nice package.
What
Sorry.
we're talking about here. What's going on?
I have no idea.
I wasn't meaning that.
Oh, Lucy, honestly, Sarah knew exactly what you meant. And I didn't start the double entendre. You two did.
It's getting hot here,
I
sorry.
I like it when you open it up and it's got all the really nice photos on the inside, all over on the inside of the sleeve. And we have the fridge magnet on our fridge
Do?
with his bum out.
I do too. It's up at the top there.
Ours is quite low down, actually.
Does like getting his bum out.
But I have to say that I don't like on the inside the lyrics are so small in the lyric booklet and pale that you can barely read them.
They're about 4 or 5 point font or something, aren't they?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Even with reading glasses, I still could hardly read them.
I think he doesn't realise that the fans that should actually receive this, well, the album is for the fans, a bit like us. And we're not in our 20s any longer.
Exactly.
So I thought you should have done. But he actually said, I don't know which video he said, but there's a lot of lyrics that have been changed or something is written differently. So I don't think he really cares about the lyrics that are in the booklet, really.
No.
Most of the time. So, but he was happy with the fridge magnet, I know. And of course, when he can show off his backside, he's always happy. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to say, I feel for whoever has to insert all of the signed prints into the CD cover. Because that must be a manual job that someone has had to do.
You think it's manual, not machine doing that?
Yeah, because he's actually signed it. So someone's had to actually put that in.
Put that back in.
Probably.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Give someone a job.
Yeah.
And what did you think when you heard that Under the Radar 3 was coming out in, when did we say, 14th of Feb 2019? Oh, Valentine's Day as well.
Yeah, it was.
Were you excited? I guess I can't remember how long we knew beforehand, or was it just a surprise?
No, we were told we knew beforehand because he was asking us about it on vlogs.
Oh, of course he was.
Yeah, because he was very active, wasn't he? He was very active in, what was it, Instagram, or was he on the app? I can't remember.
Bit of both.
Maybe.
Yeah. So you excited for this coming out?
Yes, I was. We were actually at the same time, I think we were following the vloggies.
Yeah.
So I think we knew a bit more of what was going on, and we had a lot of expectation. And we have been waiting so long for all these tracks to be published, and the fact that he did 3 of them. And actually, when you said that UTR3 was the one that was available, I was actually quite happy about that, because there's a lot of songs in here that I really like, and they should actually be shared with a lot of people, really, because they're just really good. They are really, really good. Yeah, and it's good to have something new, and we had new stuff quite close up, so that was really, really good.
Yeah, I think I felt quite similar. I was just pleased there was some new material.
Yes.
And even more pleased that it was Under the Radar.
Yeah.
And I like what you said in those quotes. I've just gone back and had a look. It's for the initiated that know who I am and like it. It's reciprocated for me to you. I mean, he's talking directly to the fans, the real fans there. I know who you are.
Yeah, that's
and
what
I like that too. I think that's just lovely. We've said it on the podcast before. There are not many pop stars or musical stars these days that really think like that about their hardcore fans. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't any. I'm sure there's plenty of examples of some that do, but I don't think it's all that common these days for people to kind of have that feeling about their most hardcore fans. So it's really nice.
And he is also someone who talks about it, which is something.
Yes.
Because he can't keep quiet. So I like the fact, so sometimes he gets into trouble, but I like the fact that he talks about it. And he actually, I saw those videos when he went through the track by track, and he's sort of talking to us, to his fans, as if there's no one else looking at it or in the world. It's just sort of like a connection. Yeah. And it's something he wanted to do, and the way it started, which should have been the pillar fight, and then where we sort of, all got into the gig as well. He sort of like he listens to us, and he can't do everything, but our needs become his needs, and it's just something that helps each other, really, because we allowed him to release these tracks. Basically.
Yeah, and he's not really got anybody else he can talk to about it. If he talks to someone in the industry about it, they won't get it. I guess he's in a group, it's in a sanctum of close buddies do get it, like Guy and co.
Yeah.
But so shall we talk about the first track?
Yeah.
The Impossible. So this was written by Robbie and Guy and produced by Guy and Richard Flack. It contains an excerpt from Cette Blessure by Leo Ferré. Leo is a French-born poet and composer who was a big hit in France, especially in the 60s and 70s. The opening music of Cette Blessure is essentially the same melody that opens The Impossible. In Vloggy episode 47, Rob asked fans to choose between The Impossible and No Fucks. Rob said he was leaning towards The Impossible over No Fucks. He claimed there wasn't enough room on the CD for both, but both did end up on there.
They did.
And thank God for that.
Thank God for that, yes.
Yeah.
In the track-by-track commentary, Rob said, "It's kind of spiritual, slightly supernatural, trying to overcome the battle of over-analysis of self. And if you've been bullied in your life, If you've been told that you're not good enough at certain times, that will go into the computer and it can become your whole person. And there's interesting experiments online. They have a cut apple, and for one apple they give love and say loving things towards it. For the other, they say hateful things and speak negatively to it. The negative one decomposes and looks kind of ugly way quicker than the one that's been fed love. That's what's happening when you are around bullies or negativity. You become the words that these people are speaking to you. It can become very destructive. The impossible is a sort of dreamlike state, talking to yourself to overcome those words, because at times, to defeat your own inner demons kind of feels impossible, because that's how you've been structured for all your life, to talk about yourself in certain ways, and then sometimes other people speak those words, and they reinforce the negativity that you have towards yourself. I think the words that hurt the most in this are, "We all hate you, cringe when you walk by, so walk on by." That's heartfelt. That's how I feel sometimes. As I get older, there's a gap between me and that pain, but it comes back to visit me every now and again. The impossible must be done. It's not that impossible. We can talk, think, behave, act our way out of this. There's a big long quote there, but
Yeah.
I kind of thought that it was
It also it
interesting
actually
and-
covers the whole song.
yeah.
Very spot on.
Yeah. I think it's important that he sort of brings up these kinds of topics that need to be talked about, because being bullied and not feeling good enough, or not being able to do what people expect you to do, is something that tortures a lot of people and find it very difficult to talk about. And I'm not sure if he's actually referring here to the people that didn't believe in him when he started his solo career, saying you can't do this and you can't do that and you're never going to do this, but he actually did. And
I kind of thought that as well. And also I thought maybe it was Nigel Martin Smith
could be
as well. Being,
could be.
Saying he wasn't good enough when he was in Take That.
I think it's probably about a whole host of people that he's probably experienced saying negative things about him. The negativity sticks, doesn't it? Like you said, that experiment about the apple, I've forgotten.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go and look that up. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, when people are just hurling negativity at you, it does stick.
Yeah, you got to try, and when you get older, you got to try and sort of, you can maybe listen to people that are like that, but then sort of don't hold on to their feelings and try and sort of get on with your own. I've had a couple of occasions when people are always like that, and I know they're like that, so I sort of just listen to them and try not to bring those bad vibes into me. And when I'm feeling not good enough, try to sort of think of the positive things or speak to people who I know are positive.
Right.
But I think we have a lot of help now to deal with these things, but maybe in the past, when you're at school and being bullied, and no one really took care of that stuff. So
no, yeah.
So yeah.
So do we like the song, Sarah?
I do like the song. It makes me feel a little bit sad. It gives me that sort of feeling. I do really like it, but I'm not sure if I would have put it on as the first track, being sort of sentimental and giving that sort of feeling. But I like the second track, which is the opposite. So, so it's probably done on purpose. Yeah, I think it's done on purpose, really. But yeah, I do like it. I think I like nearly all of the songs in this album, apart from one. So, quite happy about it.
Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I like Sarah. It's a bit of a downer for the first song on the album. Obviously, we know Rob likes pouring out his emotions and incorporating them into songs, which is an admirable thing, definitely. But when I was doing the research for it, actually, when you look at the lyrics, the words are actually quite difficult to read and take in. Do you know what I mean? Because it is so hard hitting.
Yeah.
So what's someone to do when they've got nothing else to choose? Suppose there's nothing left to lose. No one will know when you're gone.
Yeah, that's very hard.
That's
harsh.
really hard-hitting lyrics, like really. And then the bridge, here lies the body of someone who didn't try, who gave up long ago before they died.
Yeah.
And what I like about it, though, is that there's obviously the positive spin on that I think it is actually about doing the impossible. And most of life, quite a lot of life feels impossible to most people.
Yeah.
And I think it is about breaking through that and just going for it.
Yeah.
And not having anything to lose, and not being the one that didn't try but died long ago before they died. So I think it's very clever lyrics indeed.
Yeah.
And I think with his struggle, the fans certainly know, how he struggled with his own mental health and health. I think he does do the impossible, let's face it.
Yeah.
He does keep going through it. He's been successful for this long for a reason.
Yeah.
And obviously, recently that's just shown that with his another number one album.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was wondering what you were going to say.
Hanging on my words there. What was he going to say? So he is, he keeps on going.
Yeah.
What do you think, Liz?
I absolutely love this song. I'm like swept away by it. I think it's just astonishingly heartfelt. And the lyrics, obviously, I think everyone can relate to. And there's something about the tone of his vocals that really captures me. I don't know whether it's like a minor key or something. I'm not a musician, so I don't know. But there's something.
Yeah, it's down.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean.
And that it sort of just makes me. I don't know. You could just really feel the emotion of what he's singing, and it really suits the song. I like the "You can't do it. You're not good enough. Don't be stupid." Well, I don't like it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've got that as well as a good lyric.
It's just a strong,
you're not one of us.
Lyric. You're not one of us. Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah.
And then you're excluded. You can't play with us. We all hate you. Cringe when you walk by. I know it's like a really down sort of song, but there's something about it that I just absolutely love. I think it's probably because he is being so open.
I think he's talking about the feeling that he has sometimes that isn't actually even really playing out, and he said that to us before, where he's done a show and he's like, oh, I just felt like shit, or I thought it was shit. You know what I mean? And so I think it's how, I don't know whether he is so much now, but it's how he often interprets situations.
Yeah.
You don't fit, you're not really welcome around here, you're shit, you can't play with us, we don't want to do it. And I think that often sticks with him.
Yeah.
Even now.
And I also like the line, your face will never fit and there's nowhere left to sit. Everything you've done is shit. Straight to the point.
Yeah.
I actually quite like it as the opening song as well. So I disagree with you too.
Yeah.
I just think it's really beautiful. And also there was a video for this song.
Yes. So the video was an incredible stop motion video with original paper models and was created by Stefano Bertelli. It was sent out to email inboxes on the 8th of February 2019 to those who had pre-ordered the album 6 days before the album came out.
And I have a vivid memory of lying in our daughter's bed waiting for her, as I'd spend my life doing, waiting for her. Waiting to read her a bedtime story, waiting for her to be ready for bed. And this popped into my email inbox and I literally just laid on that bed and I played it over and over again. And she's like, oh my God, you're not playing it again.
Children don't understand.
No. But I just, I can still, it takes me right back to that moment. But I love the video. I think it's really clever. The paper boat going along the sort of paper river and
down the river,
being swallowed up by the whale and
then it gets
popping
through.
out the sewer. Yeah. So whatever happens, you can find your way through.
Yeah.
It's actually giving you, it's giving you light to get out of there. Saying, get on your feet and move on. Just get up and do it and react. Really,
it's clever. It's just a totally different style. He's got obviously so many videos. He's got some other animated ones, but to see something that is more like stop motion, it's quite clever. It's quite raw, and then there's some really very clever bits in it as well. And You've just explained the story to me, so now I understand why it links to Impossible. I wasn't when I was watching it. I was like, I don't know how this fits. But it starts off in that really quite barren desert type land where he's like wandering about doing weird things and fish are jumping about and stuff, and then he ends up in the city.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
Yeah.
Never thought about that, really. Good research.
So we can go on to Gold.
Yes.
Gold. Yeah, the one that should have been first, Sarah, right?
Yes, the one that should have been first.
Lucy doesn't agree with that, of course. But, so this was written by Rob, Carl Brazil, and Benjamin Roy Castle, produced by Carl and Ben. This was played at the Under the Radar gig. Gold was the second track to be made available as a download prior to the album's release if you pre-ordered on the 18th of January.
In Vloggy, episode 44, Rob asked which mix of Gold we preferred for inclusion on the album, saying, "To be honest, I can't hear much of a difference. Maybe you can. It harkens back to the 80s and coming-of-age movies, specifically John Hughes movies. I wanted to do a song that encapsulates the spirit of that moment, 1984 to 1986. So Mix 1, which Rob described as lo-fi, won the vote, while Mix 2, which he described as much louder, went on the Super Deluxe album as a bonus track.
Mm-hmm. So he was listening to us.
Yeah.
Carl commented, "Gold is a massive blend of the 80s. It's got a bit of Simple Minds in there. Makes you want to punch the air in celebration. We had loads of fun doing it. It was one of the first tracks we put together and went, yeah."
Rob replied, "I think me and Carl really appreciate what other people would find guilty pleasures. It's not a guilty pleasure to us. It's just incredible songwriting. We both really enjoy the 80s and the big celebration of what life could become for us. There's a naivety in the 80s. Everything was so big. Planet Hollywood, Sylvester Stallone, Back to the Future, Marty McFly, Weird Science, Simple Minds, U2, Michael Jackson, etc. Hollywood ruled the world. Everything seemed to be massive. Cinemas were huge. People on those big screens were intoxicating. I just wanted to be part of it. Hence we wrote a song to encapsulate the nearly pre-teen feelings we had."
Rob also said, "Somebody asked me online, what does paint her gold mean? I don't know. Go and do great stuff." Carl replied, "It works though. Go on the town and paint it gold." A lyric video was created by DNO.es, a company who've created works for Faithless, KSI, The Specials, The Beach Boys, and loads more.
So you two obviously both love Gold.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to go first, Matt?
Yeah, okay then. Well, what a classic. The beginning vibe of this song has such an 80s feel to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I felt that even before we heard the quotes from Robbie and from Carl. It just is 80s.
Yeah.
And I think, actually, I don't know whether you two caught this, I think he sounds a little bit like David Bowie in certain parts of this song, especially the lyrics, "Are we really real or a character from a film that I saw last year? The camera's focusing on you, it should be focusing on me. It would be better." He's got like a really sort of deep tone to his voice, which he doesn't, I know he can sing in a deep tone, but there's something Bowie-esque about that. And I also like, are we disco dancing or throwing shapes in an empty space? Is there something better, something better, something better, so on, than me? No, there's nothing better than me.
Yeah.
I like those repeated bits as well.
And when he says no.
Yes.
No.
There's nothing better than him.
Yeah. His ego is there a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably going to steal all the lyrics that you two want to say, but I also like, never going to lose that wonder, fall under your control, go out and paint the world, make it gold. Yeah, so really like it. I think it's got such good energy, and obviously I think being children of the 80s, it resonates a lot.
Yeah,
so what they were trying to achieve, I think they achieved.
Yes, they did, definitely.
All those films, all those references. Yeah, I think about that when I hear that song. So
Yeah.
Sarah?
What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, well, you did steal my lyrics, actually.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, it just gives that feeling of, when you're, I actually saw that a lot when I got to Italy, because I was 9, so it wasn't actually mid-80s, 86 it was, and it's sort of like seeking fortune and everything going big. You're English, oh my God, you're English, or everyone going to America, trying to be big, and everyone trying to become famous, and all these big things on screens and everything. Sort of the first technology started coming out and everything.
Video.
Yeah, videos, everything. It's just sort of like, and it gives this sort of positivity, because you start sort of like dream. You're in it. It allows you to dream of what you would like to be, and it gives you a future. Basically, it's not like now when you sort of what's going to happen to the world and things like that. You didn't know anything about that at that time. It was
slightly
just
more carefree time. Yeah, true.
It's just something good to look forward to, and paint everything gold. It's sort of like everything's, really precious and expensive, sort of like showing off and all those sort of things that you used to do in the 80s. And
I like all the repeated bits that you said.
Yeah.
The backing vocals, where it goes, he says there's something better, and then they go something better, something better. Just
something better. With tears in my eyes. Is
that bit like a really 80s vibe to have all those sort of backing vocals, do we think? Is that
maybe?
I don't know.
I'm not an expert.
No, neither am I.
Don't know.
But this should have been definitely a single, and this can be sung at a gig.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
True.
This is something powerful, really. Something good.
Yeah. Epic, that's what I wrote down.
And it gives you a good feeling.
It does.
So,
yeah. It just makes you want to sing along to it, I think, when this song comes on, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's clever because of those repeating lyrics. You have to sing those.
Yeah.
I mean, you sing the whole thing, but you have to join in with those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely went down well at the Under the Radar gig, didn't it?
Yes, it did, definitely, when he went out with that. And there's a part I like which says, with tears in my eyes, a love in my soul, I feel like starting something. It's just, you're eager to do something big. It's just that feeling. What are you going to do when you're older, when you grow up? Sort of thing like that. Gives you that feeling.
It definitely captures those preteen feelings, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah.
Well done, Rob.
I liked the line, we all get lost on our way to the dream, but we have to believe we're going somewhere better.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
Should we go on to the next song then?
Yeah.
So Dirty Rotten is next. Also written by Rob, Carl and Benjamin and produced by Carl and Ben. It was also played at the Under the Radar gig. Rob explained, a lot of my songs seem to be in this dreamlike state of wondering what it is that is around me. Where have I been? Where am I going? What will happen when I get there? What happens when you die? Do you get to heaven? Is there a heaven? Have I got social anxiety in heaven?
The questions.
Yeah. These questions go on around my head. I suppose it's me having an anxious moment and then stepping above it to look down at the words in my mind. In it, I say, I feel like killing somebody. Well, not literally, but kinda. I think that has happened a lot through my life. I want to kill you. Not literally, but I don't know. Dirty Rotten is another dreamlike sequence looked upon at myself from a great height, trying to get outside of my thought process.
There was originally a sample from a 70s film called Network in the Middle Eight, where it now says, I need big balls. But the film company wanted tens of thousands for the sample, so they removed it. The film is about a TV newscaster who has a complete breakdown, goes off script, and starts talking about the breakdown of humanity and what kind of world we live in. He tells people to open up their windows, stick their head out, and shout to the world. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. People all over America do it. Rob said, you could play it today, and it would still be as relevant, if not more relevant in this day and age, because we seem to live in the upside down. right is wrong and wrong is right a lot of the time.
A lyric video was made by Wobbly Lobster Studio, and I enjoyed the official description of this video so much I'm going to read it out. Typography animation humorously showcasing the neurotic spiel of consciousness in the lyrics and the unique structure of the vocals. The lyrics and their delivery feel like an endless stream of quite neurotic thought. Despite the showiness of the presentation and the musician, the lyrics are a continuous spiel of insecurities and attempts to understand and control neurotic thoughts and musings. Rather than editing around it, the typography is true to the vocal's strange structure. Sentences that seem unnecessarily long are squashed in the frame, as if the animator has been caught off guard. The lyric video takes every opportunity to deliver on the humour and fun. The seemingly contradictive upbeat mood set with the self-deprecation and concerns in the lyrics would be universally familiar with many people managing their anxieties. That was a mouthful, but
yes,
I just thought,
it was, definitely.
I just thought it was a good sort of summary of what the song's about, and it was interesting to read it.
So before we ask Sarah, because we'll go to you first, do you want to hear what my line was about that lyric video?
Yeah.
I like all the different fonts and styles that are used in this video. That's it. That's my analysis of it. I did. There was different fonts, but I didn't quite get the same description that they did. If anybody hasn't seen it, go and have a look, because every single different frame has different fonts in it.
Someone had fun doing that.
Yeah, but obviously their description was a little bit better than mine. Anyway, who wants to go first on Dirty Rotten? Oh, I said Sarah.
Yeah,
Sarah, what do you think about Dirty Rotten?
I think it's very catchy. It makes me want to dance. I think it's just a mixture of what is going on in his head. Right, wrong, what do I do, what do I don't do? I know he mentioned it was supposed to be on the album, probably. He said something, it was supposed to be on the album, but they wanted too much money.
Oh yeah, that was the quote from Network.
Yeah.
That they wanted, he wanted to include that.
Why does he have to pay money?
Because he wanted to put an actual bit from the film into the middle eight of the song.
A copyrighted sample, and they wanted to obviously be paid royalties for using it.
Okay.
So that's why he didn't include that.
Out. But I really enjoy it, and the funny bit is big balls. Give me a big balls. That bit keeps going on and on and on and on.
big balls.
It goes on for a very long time.
Yes,
that
it does.
Big balls
but
section.
I think it's fun. It's a fun song.
It is.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. So, and the bit that goes, oh.
Yes, I like that as well.
So, I really enjoyed it. But yeah.
What do you think then, Lucy? You've only got 4 or 5 paragraphs of thoughts and notes to say here, so obviously you must like it.
I do like it. But weirdly, it's kind of one that I forget about. I don't know why, but then as soon as it comes on, I absolutely love it. But it's not one that I ever remember exists, weirdly. Oh, that's a bit of a weird thing to say, but hopefully you know what I mean. Obviously, when he introduced it at the Under the Radar gig, he said that bit about that someone had asked him how he sings the beginning of it on one breath because there isn't any gap between his words. And he said, and I tried it, and with computers. And then obviously in the gig, he did actually do it, and he did it really well.
Yes, he did do it very well.
But that reminds me of when he does the vloggies, when you see him warming up, and he does that counting on one breath thing, you know, when he goes 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 8, no, blah, blah, blah. It goes on. I can't do it. So he's obviously, you know, he's got the breath there.
Stretching his lungs.
To do it. It's another classic of Rob doing an upbeat song with deep lyrics, this one. I've been fighting for a cause of some sort. I do not know what it is, but I know that I have to be righteous if I need to get to the other side of where I'm going. Wherever that was at the beginning, it's now not the same. It's different. I've been searching for a long, long time. Come from a long, long line of searchers searching for whatever it is. I was trying to work out whether that's like religion. You know, is it? Or is it just spiritual?
It's just it.
It's just
It could be
just it.
spiritual. Could be.
What happens when you die,
Yeah.
kind of, isn't it? Yeah.
Whatever it is, you don't really know what you're looking for, and no one knows
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, so people are searching for the...
It's probably spiritual,
Yeah.
but it's probably slightly undefined as well, I'd say.
Yeah,
But purposely undefined.
yeah.
Because what are we searching for?
No, we're just on the planet, aren't we? And just...
The meaning of life.
Yeah.
42.
Yes.
There we go.
And then the other line I like is, to the people that I will meet, do I say hello or do I say hey? Will they respond with kindness or will they have some of their own shit going on that I will take as being my fault? I just love how he delivers that line.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Yeah, I really like this song, and I do like how the words are sort of squashed in to fit in the in the verses. Just makes it unique.
Yeah.
What do you think, Matt? Sorry.
No, there's the bit I was just reading now. What was I born with? Nothing. Then we all go back to nothing. While I'm here, I'm taking nothing. Dirty, rotten, good for nothing. What was I born with? Nothing. Just keeps on going on repeat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Well, as we know, Rob enjoys somehow, and joy might not be the right word. I think he finds it therapeutic writing about death. We've had a number of songs about death
Yeah.
and, life, obviously, but this song is a little bit about dying. Yeah, Dirty Rotten, Good for Nothing. Is it a play on Dirty Rotten Scoundrel? I don't know. Dirty Rotten, where did that come from?
No.
Might have to ask him one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then big balls, you need big balls, you need big balls, you need big balls, you need big balls, big balls, big. I've messed it up, but there's a lot of big balls in this song, and that's it's just a good one to sing along with. But yeah, I think you two have said it all really. I too like that lyric that you said, Sarah, about what was I born with? Nothing. We all go back to nothing. Yeah. Great song.
It is.
Yeah.
So let's go on to Good People.
Yes.
Yeah, so Good People was written by Rob and Stuart Price and produced by Stuart. It contains an excerpt from Another Man Done Gone by John Lomax, Alan Lomax, Ruby Pickens Tart, and Vera Hall. It's about the death of a man on a chain gang of black people arrested for minor violations at the end of the Civil War. Folklorists Alan and John Lomax recorded Vera Hall singing it in 1940. Good People includes the sample of I Didn't Know His Name, I Didn't Know His Name, He Had a Long Chain On, from Another Man Done Gone.
Rob said, I remember writing Good People with Stuart Price and absolutely loving it. Played it back to myself quite a few times, and I find myself just completely in a trance. I said to Stuart, I find myself in a trance when that song's finished. It seems a bit like magic. He said, yeah, I did that on purpose. But there's plenty of other songs that have the same sort of beat, the same sort of pattern, that I'm not getting tranced in. I find myself floating off.
It's me attempting to do one of those songs where you're with a girl and you've done wrong, or she's done wrong, or you've both done wrong. You want to work it out, and you want to get her back, and you're arguing at 4 a.m, and she storms out of the door. It's the melodrama of a relationship in your 20s. I think Alexander O'Neill, around 85, 86, was still and is still a massive voice and a big personality, a kind of icon of the time. So is Luther Vandross. If it wasn't for Alexander O'Neill and Luther Vandross, that song wouldn't exist. And there was also a lyric video created by Mark Ledyard.
Good. Who wants to go first?
I can, yeah. The opening line with the singer who's singing I Didn't Know His Name, which gets repeated 5 times, reminds me very much of a Moby vibe. For those of you that know and like Moby, I love
actually.
Moby. He uses a lot of that style of singing. I wonder whether he also sampled things or recreated things like that. Yeah, absolutely love Moby. So it really reminds me of that every time it comes on. But obviously, then having done the research and really understanding where it came from, it's like even more poignant because I will admit something. I didn't know the second line of this until we were doing the research for this episode. So I never ever knew that it said he had a long chain on.
I didn't know that either.
Because of the way it's sung, it's quite hard to decipher. You can hear he had, but a long chain on, a long chain, that bit, I never really knew what that lyric was and never looked it up until now.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to sort of know that. And obviously that makes a lot of sense. He had a long chain on, I'm assuming in chains on a chain gang. So it's like really poignant now when I hear that. And I love the kind of ambient, chilled start to this song. It's just really nice. Love Rob's vocal on it. The falsetto comes out. It's just a really great track. And I did wonder, what's question for you both. What is a 4-letter warning at 4 a.m?
I don't know. I was wondering that.
What is it? What's the 4-letter word is he talking about? Is it love, or is it hate, or is
maybe.
it something else?
Yeah.
There's
If
no
they're
clues.
arguing.
No.
This couple are
4-letter
arguing.
warning. Is it a
4-letter
swear
warning.
word?
Yeah.
It could be anything,
I'd
really.
like to know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you two were going to know that. but
No, sorry.
maybe someone out there knows. They can let us know.
I've
but-
never argued
it
with
could be-
someone
it
at
could-
4 a.m.
Well, it could just rhyme, of course. A 4-letter warning at 4 a.m.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
We know how Rob rolls. So
Yeah. But there must be a meaning to it.
yeah,
Put 4 in twice without a meaning to
No.
it.
and then just on the lyric video, which was created by Mark Ledyard, I took a look at that. It's a DJ dancer who's kind of puts the record on.
Yeah,
And
he
then
dances on.
proceeds to go onto the dance floor and do some weird dancing with nobody else there, and then then kind of goes back behind the DJ
Yeah.
the decks, and that's it. It's kind of distracting if you're trying to focus on the song.
Yeah.
Because it's weird dad dancing, isn't it? Weird manoeuvres.
It is.
don't know.
It's
Anyway.
a little bit.
So I took quite a lot from that song, but more now that I know a bit more about what the beginning is about, and
Yeah.
Now,
I wonder whose
Now that
idea it was to actually use that bit. I guess Stuart, maybe. I don't know. Or where
Yeah,
they even came
probably.
upon it.
now that you've sort of given your opinion about that and explained it, it gives me another meaning to it. This is the song
Yeah.
I normally skip.
Oh,
Really, I only like the chorus bit, and then the rest I sort of found it too slow, really, to listen to.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea, really. I don't really know why. There's no particular reason. I
Yeah.
like the chorus, but baby, come on. But then when the baby come on, I just think of the guy dancing on the dance floor on his own. She's not coming. So maybe she has actually left him and he's been waiting
Yeah.
for her and she's not showing up
Yeah,
or
that's true.
something. But
yeah,
I
probably.
don't know. Sometimes you just listen to things and then just put them together with a video and sort of understand something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just but listening to you explaining all that's behind it, it just sort of makes me want
Yeah.
to hear more of it.
Yeah.
I can relate to what he means about a trance. I mean, I don't exactly go into a trance listening to it, but there's something about the lyrics and the sort of ambient style of the
Yeah.
music. There's something slightly hypnotic about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, yeah. Yeah.
I find it a bit repetitive, so I have been known to skip
Maybe
it
that's
as
why
well.
it's not hypnotic.
Yeah, probably.
You will
Probably.
go to sleep. You will go
Yeah.
to sleep.
You will
Watch this
go.
watch.
You will go.
I do like that how it sort of opens with Vera's voice and then kind of builds from there slowly, and then like the song kicks in. It's got a really good beat,
Mm.
and then in the chorus is kind of faint vocals in the background. I can't really understand what Rob's saying at that point. Sort of almost talking,
Yeah.
but I don't know what he's saying. It's definitely a Stuart Price song. You can tell that,
Yeah.
and that's about all I
Something
had to
different.
say on
It's
that
something
song.
What is
different.
Stuart known for before then?
Well, Stuart produced Progress with Take That, and that's
Right.
quite kind of same sort of vibe, I'd say, like dancey and bit kind of off the wall almost.
Slightly experimental.
Yeah.
Mm. Couldn't understand why Rob enjoys working with him then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something different, really.
Yeah.
Compared to the standard Robbie type.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something you wouldn't expect.
No.
Yeah.
But it's not my favourite on the album either.
Yeah, it's not mine either. But,
Nor Sarah's, by the sounds of it.
but
It's not.
I
don't think it's my
will listen
overall
to it
favourite,
again
but-
and try and sort of get your point of view.
I think it's the similarity to Moby that kind of gets me at the beginning, because I really love Moby. So it's not just because of that, but there's something about it. There's something definitely hypnotic about it. Truly.
Yeah.
So shall we move on to Indestructible?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Sarah's looking very excited. So
I like this one.
here we go. Written by Rob and Guy and produced by Guy and Richard, Indestructible contains elements of Gypsy Woman written by Crystal Waters and Neil Bryan Conway. Gypsy Woman came out in April 91 on Crystal Waters' debut album Surprise. It's widely regarded as one of the biggest classics of house music. Gypsy Woman hit number 1 in Belgium, Italy, Netherlands, Spain and Switzerland, number 2 in UK and Germany, and number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was originally written for Ultranate, but when Crystal recorded the demo, the production company drew up the recording contract for her on the spot and never passed it on to Ultranate. Oh, sorry, Ultranate.
Rob explained, this was written maybe 4 years ago and it's another trip down memory lane. Started with a sample from Gypsy Woman, which is an absolute banger and sort of indelible in my musical history. It remains a big tune. Indestructible is kind of a bombastic version of Impossible. We all have moments where we feel like 10 men or 10 women, and we all have really vulnerable moments. It's trying to stand in the middle of those two and own yourself. Sometimes you need to feel indestructible to just leave the house, to get on stage and perform, or to just talk to a friend. In this song, I am a better version of myself. I'm 45 years old, I'm still here, 30 years in the business next year. I've tried all sorts of ways to push more than I should have to the limit, and I'm still here. So when it plays, and I have played it quite a lot, I feel like a boxer. I think it's good ring music. I always say that if you can't be confident, then be brave. I think everybody can be brave, but not everybody can be confident.
Vloggy episode 46 shows Robbie playing us the 2 versions and asking which mix we like the best. This was mix 1. The Project Money version was mix 2. Of course, both were included in the end. A lyric video was created by Orly Broide and was released in May 2019.
Yeah, it's another song with a great beat, this one. It's really clever using Gypsy Woman because that's an absolute classic. And for me, although it didn't come out then, it takes me back to 1995 and being in the university bar when that song came on and discussing it with a friend who unfortunately recently passed away. And it always will remind me of him, this song. So, yeah. But it's got a brilliant opening and it's, Rob's version has.
Yeah.
It's one of those songs that's so upbeat, and I think the negative aspects of the lyrics sort of pass me by. Like, I know he's talking about things that are not so good, but I just take from it the positive side of it, you know?
Yeah.
He says, my dignity was taken from me and I cried, been beaten up and brought down to my knees. But then he's like, you're indestructible. And that's just what I hear from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's got an amazing ending following the bridge with the Gypsy Woman sample, and I like how the chorus just keeps repeating. So although this might be a bit repetitive in places, I suppose I like this one.
It's all right to repeat.
Yeah, it's all right in this one to repeat it.
You don't really. It has got repeat bits in it, but you don't really realise it's just so catchy and quick, and the good beat in it, and I just love it. I close my eyes. Da, da, da. And it reminds me of my first love that was never a love. He never know. He doesn't even know. But the first time I fell in love with someone, I think I was in love with him for something like 9 years. And he never knew about it. He doesn't know. He doesn't know now either. But he used to sing that, and I was so shy because he was with the older guys, and he used to sing that. So when I hear this, I just think of him. So it brings me back to when I was really young.
Oh, isn't it amazing that it just automatically brings memories?
Yes,
that
absolutely.
music.
And I think Orly has been really good with the videos she's done.
Yeah, she has.
They're just right for the songs, and she does an amazing job.
Yeah.
With the lyrics and everything. And this is the opposite of impossible, or can be connected with impossible, because it's always the same thing where you need to be indestructible to go on stage and bring out the strength to do things when you sometimes don't feel you're okay doing them. So you're indestructible but fragile too. I've only been what I wanted to be. What's the crime? What's the crime? Did my best, didn't always succeed, but I tried. I think it's the lyrics. I love them.
I like those as well.
Yeah, and I like the end. I close my eyes in search of something sacred. I end up chasing my own shadow in the dark, and all the times I thought I wouldn't make it, I couldn't take it, but it was always in my heart, Just love that bit.
That's my favourite bit too.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good
song.
So
it's got sort of negative things in it, but I just hear the positive. And do you as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I wrote a question here. Do you think Rob is writing about all the kinds of different shit and addictions and crap that he's been through, and somehow he's managed to survive? Because with all he said this before, so I don't mean this in a horrible way. With all what he's been through, he technically probably should be dead.
Well, yeah.
I've thought that.
And I think he probably thinks that a lot, because a lot of addicts can't do what he's done and actually live.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite a miracle, really, that he's managed to keep going. And so I think there's a health part of it.
Yeah.
There's a physical health part of it. There's a mental health part of it, and then there's just like a general, all the shit that he's had thrown at him over the time. So yeah, he probably does feel pretty indestructible, which is, like, to your point, Lucy, it's positive.
Yeah,
it is.
He's indestructible.
He is. He's still here.
Yeah, I think he's been really brave being in the music industry and being able to recover from all that stuff and get out of all that he's been through. And it's not easy. He's done the hard bit. It was easier to keep on doing what he was doing before. So he's done. He's chosen the hard path, and he's managed to go that way and not turn back after all these years. So I think that's really brave of him.
And actually, having said that, brings back memories from talking to Calvin, Danny and Rich on that episode. And if you haven't listened to that one, listeners, definitely go back and listen to that one. Because we talked about how experimental Rob actually really likes to be. And I think, to your point, Sarah, in a lot of cases, he could have taken an easier path.
Yeah.
And just done what people told him to do and just been the pop star. And I think in his later life, he's actually not done that. And I think Under the Radar is an example of him just doing something he wants to do, whether it affects his brand or not. He just
doesn't care.
Wanted to do it, loved to do it.
Yeah.
And and that's not really taking the easy path, because a lot of pop stars wouldn't do it because someone would say, "Oh no, don't do that."
Well, Guy told him
you
not to
don't
do
want
it.
the press speaking about those songs which he didn't really properly release, and he's done it, and it's so respect to him for doing it, because a lot of people wouldn't. So he's true to his art, he's true to his creative, artistic side. And I remember talking to Danny about it, and they were saying as well that he's just the ultimate experimental genius. And so, and I also think that Orly, to your point as well, did a great job with the lyric video, because it's more than just a lyric video. It is actually a video because of the style of the cartoon hero. And I love that cartoon-esque style anyway. I think it just really works. It's cool. So that really brings it home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So then, obviously, we have next Indestructible, the Project Money remix.
Because we wanted more Indestructible.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Rob revealed Project Money are actually the magical music team behind the X Factor and the contestants. I was on the X Factor and I was watching these acts go into the studio and write with these people and then come out with absolute bangers. I was like, how did that happen? That's a single and that's a single. Project Money and I have gotten together, written a Christmas song and lots of other songs, and I've gone to a place where you wouldn't have expected me to go in a million years, but I have. But that's for another project. Don't know what he's talking about there, but it sounds interesting.
Whoa.
Because that hasn't come out yet, whatever that is.
No. So just to let you in on who Project Money are, they're two Dutch producers, David van Dijk and Carlos Vrolijk. They're responsible for a series of multi-platinum records and have worked with Ariana Grande, Young Thug, Steve Aoki and Raksu.
So personally, I don't think that we needed two versions of Indestructible, one after the other on the album.
Controversial. It is weird when it comes back on again, isn't it?
Yeah, like, it is. I thought
it gets me nearly every time, and I've listened to it a lot recently. And it's like, oh, there it is again.
I don't really know why you just put them on both and one after each other.
It's slightly funkier.
It does sound different.
Got a funkier beat. There's a different rhythm.
I like it. I don't dislike it. I like it, but I don't know. It's just probably because we no longer have B-sides, even if Under the Radar are officially sort of, I don't know how to define them, but this would probably be on the B-side on an official album.
Yeah, but it could have been put at the end of the album.
Yeah,
so
I don't know why it's one up.
Two times
you don't listen to it twice. Well, you do a little bit, and then I just
I tend to, but I think he really likes the Dutch producers.
Yeah,
David
I like it
Carlos,
actually. I do like it, but
I think he wanted it on there so that he didn't upset them, so that he can work with them in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I think so.
Probably, but yeah, it is a nice version of it. I do like it. But yeah.
Well, for me, I would rather have Home Again instead of Indestructible Project Money remix.
Yeah.
And I think it's sacrilege that Home Again is not on the actual CD.
Well, it should be. Yeah, I agree.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll come to that one.
But yeah, also I'm interested about this music that he says he's made with Project Money and this Christmas song, because on the Christmas album there isn't a Christmas song with them. So obviously that's been shelved.
Yeah.
And didn't end up on the album. Yeah. It's maybe for an Under the Radar Christmas. But also on our interview with Kelvin, Danny and Rich, they did say that Soul Transmission wasn't supposed to be on the album proper for the Christmas present. But Rob loved the version they did so much. He said, I'm going to have to disappoint someone else and make a phone call. And that got put onto the album instead. So who knows? Maybe, it got shoved off by them for once. And considering Home Again got put as a bonus, as a deluxe on this one, then fair enough.
Yeah.
At least they got 5 songs on the Christmas present, or 6. So yeah, interesting. Also, because they seem to maybe do this dance type music, from what I can gather, perhaps
this dance type music. Sound like a 75-year-old talking about dance music.
I didn't really know what to call it.
What is it? EDM, house, dance?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Progressive, garage, techno.
Exactly.
Something like that. Yeah.
Then maybe that he's done some sort of dance music with them, and that could be something that might come out with, Lufthouse or whatever.
Yeah. Well.
Oh yeah, well we all know that he's got a lot of songs on his computer that haven't come out yet.
And he does love dance music, so
he does.
So
who knows? Maybe one day we'll find out what he did with them.
Problem is, when we hear about all these things, then you're eager to hear them, and you can't wait. And then all this wait, we're always waiting for something. We're waiting in a queue. We're waiting for.
Well, there's a line in showbiz.
Yes, I know.
Always keep them wanting more.
Yeah.
And he does that very, very well.
He does. He teases us.
He's made it into a bit of an art form, especially with the vacuum of comms that we haven't had for a while, since the end of pandemic.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that's because there's a Netflix documentary coming out. He might have signed a contract.
There's a lot going on, actually.
His life.
There's a lot going on.
Yes. So, okay, so
Do you want to say
mixed
any more
feelings
about
about Project Money remix. Do you want to say any more?
Do you want to, Sarah?
No,
No. Fine.
No.
just happy
Okay,
with.
let's move on then.
Yeah.
I think we all like the original version a bit more, but
Yeah.
I like the funky
I do
version.
like it, but
I
I,
like
just
it,
don't think
yeah.
we needed to.
Yeah. I agree.
So shall we move on to No Fucks?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Written by Rob and Guy and produced by Guy and Richard. Also, this was played at the Under the Radar gig. Rob said, No Fucks is autobiographical. It's a tale of lost summer. I would say somewhere between 93 and 94, before I knew I had a drug and drink problem, where both were still working for me in a way. Me and my friends went to Dovedale in Derbyshire, which is a big national park, and just took ecstasy and walked around the park having a wonderful time, going up hills and down dales and contemplating life and enjoying each other's company. And then we went to Leek and had a drink, and someone threw a pint pot at my head. So that completely changed the dynamic of the day. I think of that time, and I think of those more innocent experiences that I had before things became way darker than they needed to be. And that's what No Fucks is about.
Yeah.
He went on to say, How do I get love attacks these days? Me and the wife have love attacks. And quite often when we're apart or when we're together, we have an overwhelming feeling of love and goodwill. We have to find each other and say, I'm having a love attack. Sometimes
So
I'll
cute.
get an email from Ida and it'll say, I'm having a love attack, and it'll just be hearts, and I'll send one to her. Or we'll be in the same room watching TV and I'll go, I'm having a love attack, and it's what we do. Ours is a cheesy kind of love. I think that in the summer of No Fucks Given, the love attack is having the shared experience where it's just complete abandon and hedonism and completely being in the moment and enjoying one another.
Yeah.
In Vloggy episode 47, Rob called this song Love Attack, but said he might change it to Take the Summer Back. He suggested changing the chorus from You're high with your friends and you're having a love attack to You're high with your friends and you're taking the summer back. He asked viewers for their opinion in the comments section, but evidently didn't change it in the end.
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't change it, aren't you?
Yes. I love this.
Yeah. So Sarah, what do you think about this one then?
This is absolutely one of my favourites of the album. It just,
Yeah.
it's just a sweet romance of when you're 16 and you have no thoughts, your summer and all the things you used to do when school finished, and you're just having a great time and no worries at all. It just brings back
Yeah.
all those memories, and I love the way it's made with. I've already lost my virgin. I can't say it now. I can't say it. Yeah, all those bits,
Yeah.
you know, mama, a heart attack, all those little sort of bits, you know. I don't know how, I can't even sing them really.
We know what you mean.
Yeah, it's just, it's just enjoying life, no regrets, just having a great time. And I like the fact he talked about Ida when they're apart and they're having a love attack. That's a nice thing to think about. It's very cute and
Yeah.
just.
Lucy often sends me emails saying she's having a love attack about me.
Really?
No. No.
Lucy.
I just know she is most of the time, so she doesn't need to say it.
And I absolutely knew that Matt was going to make that joke as well.
What? I think I've made it before, but not on the podcast.
Yeah. I just think it's an outstanding song. It's it was a total highlight of the Under the Radar gig for
Yeah,
me. It just went
it
absolutely
was.
crazy. I love his vocal, how there's like a high and a high vocal and a low vocal
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's something really cool about that. And I did always used to insist on playing it in the car when the kids were in the car and just turning the volume down for the swearing bits because I couldn't bear to skip it. I just had to play it.
Yeah.
So they just thought it was called That Was the Summer, and then
Yeah.
off.
But occasionally
No,
I wouldn't
fun.
quite get to the volume in time.
Yeah.
And
They heard a little bit
it's
of
a
it.
bit naughty. Yeah.
But
And
I
then one
think-
time Luke did say, why do you bother doing that? Why don't you just skip it?
No, you
Because
can't.
you've had to skip other ones. That's
No.
the
Yeah.
only other way, yeah.
Yeah, but you can't
skip it.
You can't skip this one. You can't at
No,
all.
you can't.
No,
It's just
agree.
and as you said at the Under the Radar gig, we all had a great time singing it and jumping
Yeah.
about, and the atmosphere just boom, went.
The energy when
Yeah.
that was going off, and it was just
Yeah.
you just feel it in the room,
Yeah.
couldn't you? Because we were all just like, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
We're here,
that's
we're
true.
enjoying ourselves.
Yeah. So this is a really good song and should have been a single.
Yes.
We need to convince him to do something with these songs.
Oh, it would be good. I hope that some of them might end up in the film. That's what we're hoping, isn't it?
We are. Yeah, we've got this little theory that we were talking to. We spoke to Kelvin, Danny, and Rich about this, I think, and a few other people. We're hoping that maybe some of these more off the beaten track songs, well, for regular fans, not hardcore fans like us, might be interesting when put into a film.
Yeah.
Well, because they could just have little bits of them, and because they tell a story, it would just fit well.
They do. And we're really hoping that might happen, but we'll see. Maybe it'll just be all the hits, but
But well, if he has a say into it, he probably.
We hope they tell a good story. These songs.
And do you remember they were actually recording outside when we were queuing? They were recording us and
they were
interviewing people, and we never saw any of that stuff. We thought it was going to be on a bloggy, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So there is stuff available, good stuff to put in there. And
I just think it's a really cool song because of the sentiment of it. Not just it's called No Fucks, but just like you said, it's about just losing your shit and going for it on the dance floor and singing along to it. And I'm sure that most of us have all had at least one summer where there were just no fucks given, and for most of us that was probably when we were younger and didn't have a lot of responsibilities and stuff. And you just saw that great big summer stretching out in front of you, and it's like, maybe we weren't on drug and drink fueled trips to Ibiza. Not all of us were doing that, but we had those sort of carefree summers nonetheless. So it brings back those memories to me of just like, not giving a shit and just
and you were doing stupid things. And being a parent now, looking at, oh my God, is my son going to go and do things like that? And wasn't doing anything wrong, but motorbike and no helmet and things I used to do over here in Italy, up in the mountains and things like that. And this gives me a picture. The film The Notebook?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have. I can't remember it very
I'm not sure if Matt has seen it.
No.
This is one of my favourite films. It's very romantic. And it's back in the 50s, I think. And they fall in love in this summer. And they're sort of, with the, I don't know what it's called in English. What Tarzan used to do with the...
Oh, swinging on
swinging in the lake and then jumping down in the water. You have no cares in the world and falling in love, and it's all romance and emotions and whatever's going on. It just gives me that feeling.
Yeah. I think this line really sums it up. That was the summer of no fucks given. Live fast, die young, stay out of prison. When you're high with your friends and you're having a lover tack 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 tack, a lover tack 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 tack. It's a good song, and it's good that he didn't change the lyrics as well.
Yeah, I like
it. Wouldn't have sounded the same. You're taking the summer back. No.
And the bridge as well. Give me back. Give me back. I love that as well.
Yeah.
And how it just ends really abruptly as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just stops.
Yeah. It's like no in gold. It's just.
Yeah, I love that.
Also, I'd already lost my virginity and I'd get it back and lost it all over again. I don't know how you get your virginity back.
But, yeah.
But I did wonder whether it maybe means being a virgin with different drugs, and then you try the next drug, and
it could
and
be
because you're no longer a virgin on that drug, you go on to
try
the next
something
one.
else. Yeah, it could be.
I think that's very true.
Probably,
right?
Because otherwise, what else could it possibly mean?
Yeah, you're right. I think.
But I think it's safe to say we all like that song.
Yes.
Oh yes,
yes, definitely.
And it should have been on a main album.
Yes,
Do
absolutely.
you think?
Yes, but the problem is with having swear words in a song.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
It can't go very far without it being changed. And sometimes when the swear word isn't like the main part of the song, you can change it. But I think trying to change no fucks to no lux or something wouldn't be
work.
Right, or
No.
beeping it wouldn't work. So I think that's the challenge, isn't it? With I appreciate that you can't have songs with swear words on the radio or on TV, but well, there are ways, but generally it doesn't go mainstream, does it?
No.
If they're like that. So yes, but I can understand the reasons why it couldn't. Yeah. But if it was allowed to be on a main album, you'd both want on a main album.
Yes, we would.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, with no changes at all.
Exactly. So, shall we talk about Underkill?
Yes.
Yes.
Written by Rob, Calvin Andrews, Rich Scott and Scott Ralph. Produced by Rich. And their brother Danny also plays keyboards and bass on it.
Rob said, "You know when you see videos and it's a person just standing there as the world goes by and they're just stood still, like a time-lapse thing, that's what this song is. We can have many experiences through the day and through life, and some of them can be monotonous. When you wake up and you can't find joy or inspiration because what's happened to you has taken those things away from you. I suppose I'm describing depression. I'm describing that waking up, getting on with your day and you're on a treadmill and you keep going to your job, or you keep waking up and seeing your spouse. Like John Lennon says, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. Well, when you stop making other plans and you sit down and you take a look at what's happening on the planet, it can be overwhelming and scary. We choose our own path, and for a majority of the time, especially now I've got older, I'm enjoying that path that I'm on, but for a lot of my life I wasn't. And the world would be scary, overwhelming and bereft of enjoyment and joy, and the monotony of that feeling can lead you to think, what is this world really? Why are we here? It can lead you to have cynicism. That's when you're painting your own picture black, and you can't have colour because something's happened to your computer. That's what Underkill is. It's that taking a back seat and looking around and feeling the certainty of the mundane."
Mm-hmm.
That's quite a quote.
Yeah. That was a big quote. A deep quote.
Yes. Matt, you like this song?
Yeah, this is a powerful and moody song, and I really like it. And obviously Rob just described your quote just described what Underkill was, but I was like, what is an underkill? I've been singing this song like for ages, and what the hell is it? And so apparently it is a lesser force than is needed to defeat an enemy. So basically you've not got enough force to actually defeat the enemy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the militaristic description of it. And an overkill, because obviously that's used in the song as well, is excessive use, treatment or action, or the amount by which destruction or capacity for destruction exceeds what is necessary. So that sort of makes more sense to me now. I also had to look up. You have a perma-frown. So there was this comment about a perma-frown. Right now, you two may already know what this is,
No.
but I didn't. It talks about a complementary perma-frown. Well, apparently, you have a perma-frown when the downward corners of your mouth create an appearance of frowning, even at rest. So people that have a really, really crap, a sad resting face, basically.
Yeah.
You have permanent frown lines between your eyebrows and a heavier and lower eyebrow resting height. Hollows under your eyes make you appear to be sad or dejected constantly, when in fact, you aren't even tired.
Okay.
That's not what that last bit. So you didn't know that?
No, of course I didn't know
It's a
that.
long time since I've done a good factoid on the podcast, and that is one. So, complimentary permafrown. That's what that is. And then there's incredibly poetic lyrics in this song. With obsolete technology, we're building bombs internally, full of non-expectancy, half-day closing usually. I mean, brilliant.
Yeah.
Another day that's every day, identical in every way, a parasite that needs a host. Well, it's my mind I'll miss the most. I mean, that.
Yeah.
I've got to say one thing. You can tell that Calvin and Rich and Scott Ralph were involved with the writing of this. You can just tell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know who wrote those bits specifically,
but
the deepness of it is, and the philosophical nature of it is definitely there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's me. Have I gushed enough about
Yes, you
that
have
song?
gushed,
Right,
yes.
let's let you two talk.
Sarah?
Well, you had to search things up. I had to search them up as well because, of course, I'm English, but I'm not that English. So
Yeah.
Right.
it took me a while to try and understand it because I had to look up so much. Well, I thought I need help here because I need someone to explain what is going on. I mean, I understand it's about depression and when you get stuck into things and need to find a way to find something to do to change things. I mean, that's what I sort of understood. But then there's a lot of things that I do not understand. So I didn't know what underkill and overkill meant really. So I had to look them up myself. But yeah, it gives me that feeling of being a bit heavy and profound, but I like it. I don't understand it completely, but I do like it. And it's just as explained, something's going on and you're standing still and you have to do something, but you can't, and then you have to find a way to do something, and that sort of describes depression. So, and yeah.
I like the fact that Rob's vocal keeps echoing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just sort of once, it's like 2 or 3 times each sort of line almost. And obviously that fits completely with what the song's
It's
about
the
the monotony
atmosphere.
and the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so well produced.
The mood is really moody in that way. It's great mood creating.
And it's, it's creating the monotony that the song's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going out again tonight to be with people I don't like. I mean, that is a strong lyric. And where boredom is the norm, I can't take it anymore. Until the day we're born, we just take it on the chin. I just love it. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And there's lots of little sounds and bits of arrangement in the background as well that give it like a unique sound, like little bits of strings and keyboards, just little sort of flourishes here and there, all different things. It just sounds really interesting.
Yeah. It's done very well. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Very good.
Very rich, isn't it?
Yeah.
You mean Rich Scott?
Well, yes.
Because he produced it.
Rich Scott.
Yeah, we don't know
but also
who did
Rich
what.
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Rich produced it, but obviously, the other guys are involved in the writing, and Danny plays keyboards and bass. But yeah, I meant Rich as in there's a richness.
It just
it
just made me think.
But that's true as well. It's very Rich Scott. Yeah.
It is. Permafrown is something new I learnt.
I would have just called that like resting bitch face or something.
Yeah.
I guess it's not quite that though.
I've heard of a monobrow, but I've never really heard of a permafrown. So anyway,
thought it was about hair or something.
So the next song is Bye Bye. It's written by Rob, Carl and Benjamin and produced by Carl and Benjamin. In Vloggy 49, Rob asked us to choose between Bye Bye and Home Again, saying that neither had been planned to be included, but he was having so much fun with the song battles, he thought he'd let these 2 songs have a fight too. Chris Heath and Ida were present, and both chose Home Again, but it seems that Bye Bye won the battle.
Rob said, "What I remember about writing Bye Bye is that we were having another one of those 80s moments. Back to the Future and Weird Science were big moments of the 80s. Oh, yes. Huey Lewis sort of encapsulates the spirit of all that, and I wanted to write a kind of Huey Lewis song. Somebody asked me who the lady is in Bye Bye. She's not real. She's just made up. So it's the film Mannequin or the film Weird Science, and it's just pure 1980s Huey Lewis and the newsness. She's probably wearing your shirt tonight and waving bye-bye. Just imagine those 80s movies where the gorgeous girl with the long hair is on her own Harley Davidson with your plaid shirt on, smoking a cigarette going down the highway, and being impossibly beautiful, because that's what everybody was in the 80s. And so it is with the girl in the song Bye Bye. I guess she is Cindy Crawford on her way out of your life, and you're never getting her back."
Rob also said, "I hope the lyric in the lyric book isn't She's as old as she wants to be and as cold as ice. She can walk like a millipede right out of your life. Because the actual lyric is, she can walk like the military right out of your life. It was millipede, but we changed it. Because if she walked like a millipede, that would take forever for her to do. Because there would be lots of feet. But with the military, it was kind of like she's cold-hearted and she's just there to do her job and leave. And unfortunately, the lyric is still millipede.
Yes.
It's definitely millipede that he sings.
It is. I tried, but it is millipede.
They didn't make that change, did they?
No, they didn't. Just thinking of this lady with so many feet walking about.
Yeah.
She's going to take a long time to walk away, yeah. I'll always remember that now, like that.
Yeah. I really love the guitars on this, especially towards the end of the song. I looked up, they're played by Ben and someone called Oscar Winberg. It kind of, it really does sound like an 80s song.
Yeah,
it reminded me of like a Bon Jovi 80s kind of rock song. She ain't taking no shit, she never did. She's moving into your mind all right and out of your life. I like those lines.
Yeah.
I really like it. It's just a good old kind of 80s vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 80s in this album.
There is.
There is.
Do we know when he actually wrote this?
No.
It's always hard to tell, Rob, because it could have been 15 years ago.
Yeah. I'm just thinking
not with Carl, it couldn't have been.
Well, not with Carl. Okay, so it's within the past.
So
10
Carl
years.
was like from 2012, end of
Yeah,
2012. So that's
yeah.
So there you go. It's within the past 10 years, Sarah.
Yeah.
Just to narrow it down.
I always wonder where they come from and how far back has he written them? Will we ever know? Or what was he going through in that time? That's why he wrote things like this. And because there's a lot of the 80s in this album.
Yeah.
Which is actually for the audience he's putting them in for. So
yeah,
basically he's giving us.
We appreciate that.
Yeah. So yeah.
You like this song?
Yeah, I do. It's not one of my favourites, but it is.
Yeah.
I do like it, and yeah, it's good. I like what you were saying. She ain't taking no shit. She never did. Nobody's ever beat her since she left the house for dead, and she's better than you, even better than you. And I guess I'll never have her for as long as I can breathe. She's so cool.
I'm not sure I've got much to say about this one, really. I do like it, but a bit like you, it's not really a fave. It's sort of, dare I say, a filler? It's not really a filler, but it doesn't, I don't know. It's not as strong as the other songs on this album, I think. So,
right.
I guess it's about a girl leaving and causing a few problems.
Yeah.
That's my notes.
Yeah. that's as much as Matt wrote.
I could sometimes simplify these songs into just a few words, but doesn't do it justice.
Well, let's go on to Reality Killed the Video Star then.
Yes. Let's do that.
Written, produced and played by Rob alone. Rob said, "It was a song from intensive care that I wrote 100% of. It's me playing it. It's me singing it. It's me writing it. Nobody could find it. I didn't know what it was called. And then one day, trawling through my iTunes, I found a title that I didn't know. And I guess it's where the title for Reality Killed the Video Star came from. You would think that the album title was a doff of the cap to producer Trevor Horn, but it wasn't. It actually came from this song. And it still is a doff of the cap to Trevor, because he's a genius, but it's actually from this song. It's a deeply personal song about somebody that I will always have a deep affection for, and at a time in our lives when we tried to reconnect, and it didn't happen. It made us both incredibly sad. That person will remain nameless, but she's a wonderful person who means a lot to me and my life. There's a line in it saying, 'Look at these tears falling down onto my guitar,' and it's because while I was writing it, I actually did start crying. There were tears on my guitar, so that became the next line. That led into the next line, that led into the line after that."
Rob told Pop Justice website when promoting Shame in 2010, "So I got busy throwing everybody underneath the bus. Oh, and with your poster 30 foot high at the back of Toys R Us. It was another song that I'd written and I just thought it was a good line. The line on the other song was about somebody spraying knobhead on my poster at the back of Toys R Us. When me and Gaz came to light, it was lodged in my subconscious somewhere, and I thought it was a good line, so I put it in.
So yeah, reality killed the video star, came before shame.
Yeah, and I love the parody line from the Shame song duet with Gary. I mean, it's not from that song, but my face will be 30 foot high on the back of that bus, and on my poster they'll spray knobhead at the back of Toys R Us.
It's funny.
It's funny.
It is.
Then obviously he cleaned it up to put it into Shame.
Yeah, changed it.
Yeah.
I also quite like these lyrics. Remember when I came round and I ruined your mother's carpet because I was always dancing and she didn't have the heart to stop it because she would see you smiling at the boy who came to play, and if that doesn't break your heart, then there's nothing I can say.
Yeah, I like that as well.
Yeah, I like that. I
Sarah,
love this
what
song.
do you think?
I do love this song. Where does it say radio? And babe, I took these songs and started singing them to people. Certain point he said, radio and television is keeping us apart, as if he had this relationship with this girl, but he couldn't. They couldn't go on because of the fact that he's famous. And at a certain point, he's apologising for the way he acted or something. At a certain point, before listening to the video where Rob talked about it, I thought he was actually apologising for a affair he had with her, and she was getting married. I don't know where I got that from, but when I went through all the lyrics, that's what I thought about. So I don't really know. I don't know why I thought about that, but it gave me that feeling. So I'm very sorry, my bastard. I'm very sorry. So as if he messed her up or something, and couldn't do much about it because then he was famous and everyone would have known, and he still cares for her. And but yeah, what is done is done. But I do love this song.
I think it's about the same girl that a lot of the songs on intensive care was about.
Yeah.
It's obviously written from the same period, isn't it?
Yes.
It's really heartfelt. I just love that he's written the whole thing as well. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
a complete Rob production
and
trend, right?
There must be other songs in his computer that only he has worked on as well. Be interesting to hear them.
Yeah.
It always makes me smile when this song comes on. It's just got something about it, like sort of, I don't know, it's like swaying music.
Yeah.
You want to sort of sway around to it.
Oh, that's why you've been swaying around.
And I like these lyrics. I wrote this song not to mess with your head, but to get you out of mine.
Yeah. That is one of the most difficult things to do when you love someone and you know it's right for you to
let
get
them
out
go.
of her. Yeah, get out of her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he says, I'm sorry, at the end, you can really tell that he means it.
Yeah, he does.
You?
Yeah.
And babe, I took these songs and started singing them to people. Some folks hate them and others think I'm evil, but some of them quite like me. They've taken me to heart.
Yeah.
I like that. Talking about, obviously, the two sides of people who hate Rob and the people who love him like us.
Yeah.
But there's so many haters out there. It's nice to try and focus on the lovers, I'd say.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So shall we move on to I Just Want People to Like Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was written by Rob, Tim and Flynn, produced by Tim during the Take the Crown era. On Christmas Day, anyone who had pre-ordered the album was sent a link to download this track. Rob has since said that this should have been on a main album.
Yeah.
So it's rare for him to actually admit it, isn't it? Rob declared, "The thing about I Just Want People to Like Me is that I'm picking up that people are just listening to me say that and thinking it is an actual plea. But I'm being so cocky, abrasive and arrogant in the verses that I don't understand why people aren't going, oh, he's doing his cocky chest out strutting thing. If you don't like me and you listen to the verses, they will just piss you off. And that was probably what I was trying to do. I don't understand why it's become in some people's minds a song that I'm pleading for people to like me. I suppose it's because people read the real version of my true life inside my soul. But that's not what this song is about. It's me being brazen and putting my finger up and saying, fuck off.
Yeah. Typical Rob.
Yeah, definitely. Also, it says at the end, Keira Knightley. I was just too lazy to re-record it because it should have said, like Keira Knightley, I just want people to like me. It just rhymed and it was funny. I don't know if she desperately wants people to like her or not, but in the song, it sounds as though me and Keira have got something going on. And that's not what happened. I don't think I've ever met her. She seems like a lovely person. I'm a big fan, but I was just being cheeky. And it rhymed.
Yeah. Just put something in there.
It rhymed.
I think that if you ask people what their version of Robbie Williams is, I think it's that song. Because you can do a set list and people say you should be more like Robbie. Well, which one? Because I've been loads of me. I think people think that Robbie is 1998 to 1999. But I'm more interested in Robbie 2016 to 2017. I think that I just want people to like me is what people think that I am musically.
Yeah.
Leo Barron shot the video on the roof of Rob's Hotel in Mexico the day before he did a heavy entertainment show gig for 100,000 people there. It was released on the 28th of December 2018 as a promo for Under the Radar 3. So Sarah, what do you think about I Just Want People to Like Me?
This is one of my favourite songs, actually. It just makes me want to jump and jump and jump. Just gives me that feeling and energy. And as he says, it's just how they see him. This is just Rob, basically, who wants to be liked by people. As easy as that. So it's what he's been trying to do his entire life, to that people like him. I don't know if it's got anything to do with the fact that he's so big in certain countries and less people know him in other countries, and he's always been trying to be big everywhere. But he's being cocky, he's putting his finger up and showing off and everything, and he's singing on the rooftop just with, you know, the American way, things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like it, and it just makes me want to jump.
Yeah.
Jump and jump and jump. What is it? I like the part at the end where it sort of slows down. I can't dance, I can't sing. A lot of people in the past used to say he couldn't dance, he couldn't sing, and then he proved everyone wrong. Not that he's dancing like they used to make him dance, but of course he is a good dancer, and we all like that. But I made it this far. You'd think they'd be happy for me, but I'm so loaded, I guess I could stop, because absolutely nothing about me loves pissing you off. He just likes the fact that he actually
does want to piss them off.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You remember when, what did he do? He did the opening of the, what was it? The Olympic? It wasn't the Olympic, it was football, wasn't it? In Russia.
Oh, the World Cup.
Yeah, it was the World Cup, wasn't it? And at the end, he sort of stuck his finger up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He did. That's Rob.
Yeah, that was funny.
Just, he's got the power to do it, and he does it. It's just him doing what he wants to do. So it's what we appreciate about him.
Yeah.
That he really does what he wants to do. And that is linked to my sentence here. I didn't lose my mind, it was mine to give away. He just does what he wants to do, and no one can control him. And I think his career has proven he was right. So everyone else can piss off.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
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 I wrote down the same line as you, as I can't dance, I can't sing. Love that bit.
Yeah. And he also says, I'm in the land of the brave, in the home of the free. That also says it all.
One bit that always makes me laugh, where he says, I got my test back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Well, me and also Sarah from our
I've heard other people say it as
3 and 4,
well. Yeah.
I just hear, I got my tits back. I don't know why. And of course, it's not tits, because why would he be getting tits back?
Yeah.
He probably has to say test. It's probably not test.
Yeah.
He probably has to say test test to make it fit, and it does sound like tits.
Yeah.
It just always makes me laugh every time. And I think Sarah did actually say that to him on chat once, and he just laughed. I was like, why would I have written that?
But sometimes he does put strange things in the songs, which only he puts in with no reason at all. Sometimes he doesn't. Or he gives different reasons to it when people ask him. So you never know.
Well, he seems to like wearing Ida's bras recently. So, been modelling those quite a lot.
They fit everyone, don't they? Yeah.
But as you say, Sarah, I have to move when this song comes on as well. You can't sit still when this is on.
It's good. It makes us jump about and dance, and I love it.
And I like you. I think this is all. I know that last quote that we read out, or you read out. It was all about like irony, not really wanting people to like him, and it was an ironic statement. All that. I think he does. I think ultimately he does want people to like him.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't like it when people. Doesn't like the haters, basically.
Yeah.
And I like the style of the song. It's shouty. I mean, he's still singing, but it's strained and shouty, so that adds to there's sort of a little tiny bit of aggression in it.
Yeah, he is a bit arrogant, isn't he?
I like that. I like that sound. And then I like the bridge on this one. They gave my music to a man who played my music to a scene. They gave my music to some people who say what they mean. Call me psychic. Some people just ain't gonna like it.
Yeah.
That is a golden line, totally, because I think that sums up completely, like you say, he does what he wants, the music gets played, and then there's going to be critics.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Also, I just puked a rainbow.
What a line.
And jumped off my wallet, but I landed in my swimming pool.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
Something he does, yeah.
Yeah. It's just full of great lines, this song.
Yeah, it is.
Interestingly, the lyric booklet says, I'm so loaded, I guess I could stop, because absolutely nothing about me loves this little rock.
Oh, that says it in the lyric book.
Yeah,
oh,
but he doesn't even sing that. He says something different, doesn't he? Because absolutely nothing loves pissing you off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously at some point he must have actually sung that, and they bothered to change that lyric.
Yeah.
They didn't bother to change the Keira Knightley lyric. So weird.
And what I like about it also, shout out to Leo Barron, it's a simple, effective video.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, obviously when he's releasing Under the Radar, for those that don't know, it's not done on a massive budget because it's not going mainstream. So they're not really making a massive return on it, I doubt. Some probably, but you know what I mean? And so he doesn't have to do a video. So that's why it's nice when you get the lyric videos and things. But obviously this one, you actually see him acting the part and being on the helipad, and it looks good.
He looks great in that red shirt.
Yeah,
as well.
red shirt with flowery shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the light looks great in Mexico, just the way they've shot it on the roof there. And then I like the end drone shot where it kind of flies up and sticks his
Is that the
finger
same
up
place where they took the pictures for the
No, because that was Buenos Aires.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was at the time when I think Leo was experimenting with drone shots. Because the other one's a drone shot of him in his apartment with his arse out, isn't it? So, yeah.
So the next song is Hunting for You acoustic.
Written by Rob, Tim and Flynn and produced by Tim. This is an acoustic version of the song from Take the Crown. Rob said, it's a film, it's escapism. It takes me to a different place on the planet that I don't embody or exist in on a daily basis. And I think that's the magic of music, that it can do that. Songs are interdimensional and they are time machines. That's what nostalgia is. Nostalgia is your own time machine that only goes backwards. And so it is with Hunting for You. It takes me to a special place that doesn't exist in day-to-day rounds. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the lyric, I'm proud of the melody, I'm proud of the vibe and the ambient mix. I thought you'd like it. because I know that this one and Into the Silence are big fan favourites.
Yeah.
They are.
They are.
I still love this song, and this acoustic version is beautiful, but I think I prefer the Take the Crown version because he's got a bit more of rawness in his voice on that one.
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether this was like the original version that Tim and Flynn and him worked on, and then when Jack Knife Lee produced Take the Crown, he maybe changed it to the one that's on Take the Crown.
Yeah, because it's the original. Sorry, the Take the Crown version's got quite an upbeat tempo.
Yeah.
Upbeat drum beat and tempo. More poppy.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit more. It's
more
acoustic, so it's slower.
It's slower. And I always
still really like it though.
Yeah. I really like the bit where his voice goes down. The One-Eyed King, He Stole My Mind, and Let Him, when his voice goes really, really down, really deep. Yeah.
You can hear the lyrics really clearly on this one, can't you? Because it's, acoustic, obviously.
Well, yeah. I mean, I remember talking about this on our Take the Crown episode with Alan and Sarah, and my misheard lyric of
what was it? I can't remember.
Of that one. It was, "Tonight I'm horny for you." Even though the title is Hunting for You, it was like, "Tonight I'm horny for you." So maybe you're right, Lucy. Maybe in this one I can hear it a bit more clearly. But there was no reason for that. Anyway, it does sound quite a bit different to the original. As I said, it's a bit more upbeat. What I did notice, factoid, this version is 3 minutes 34, and the one from Take the Crown is 3 minutes 58. So it's actually longer on Take the Crown.
Yeah.
So must have added some bits and pieces into it.
Yeah.
Or just sort of slowed down the intro or something, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But the fact that he put it in the album must mean something important for him.
Yeah.
Or a different version for, as he said, for the friendlies to listen to.
Yeah.
So it must be something magical about it and different.
It's nice that he's proud of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
He said he's proud of everything about it, and he thought that the fans would like it. So he's almost putting it on there as a
it's a
gift to us.
Yeah.
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 We're talking as if we know him more than himself sometimes, I think. I think I'm saying things saying, "Who are you?" You don't know him that well, but...
Well, at the time, at the making of this, he was asking questions in the chat and was asking people about the songs and titles and all sorts of things, he'd ask about. So he was consulting us.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
External people maybe can't understand this or believe this sometimes when you say, "Oh, yeah, we were chatting on him," and things like that. And he replied to me on that.
Made for the fans.
Yeah. We need some of that back.
Yes,
we were talking, Lucy and I, that some of the stuff that was on the app, we couldn't recover it anywhere. Or
like the track by track commentary for this album was on the app.
Yeah, and the things that were on there, you thought they were there, and that was it. So you didn't think of saving them anywhere. Or it would be nice to have something like that back.
It would, please, management.
Yes, it would be good if Rob's team did a little bit of content management so that those things are in existence, like everything else that goes around the music. They're important artifacts of someone's career, and they should be curated. So it's wrong that they just disappear, really.
I guess in their head, their website has got information on it, but they don't seem to appreciate that some bits are missing.
But the fans want all of it.
It's not enough.
One bit of it.
And we had so much from the app and the vloggies and...
So should we go on to talking about Into the Silence ambient mix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Written by Rob, Tim and Flynn and produced by Tim. Rob said, "Into the Silence has a special place in my heart. I think it's my finest hour, maybe along with Ghosts from Intensive Care. Probably the best song that I've ever written. I had a moment when I was doing a private little gig online to you good people on the internet, and I know that that song has a big place in your heart. When you've just finished writing a song and you're driving round Los Angeles and you're playing it back to yourself and you have this overwhelming and overpowering urge of wonder at something that you've created. You hope that that wonder and magic translates to other people. With Into the Silence, if you bought Take the Crown and you listened to it all, I'm sure it's your favourite song off that album, and it is my favourite song off Take the Crown. It connects you and I. I'm talking to the people that know my music, obviously, but that song connects us.
So what do you think about it then, Lucy?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like similar. When I hear this song following Hunting for You, they just sound sort of the same.
Yeah.
And they kind of merge into one almost. Sometimes I'm not even sure which song I'm listening to.
Yeah, that happened
Is
to me.
that a bit weird to say?
Yeah, that happened to me today as well. I thought, yeah, is that one or no? And then I just go and check, and I think he just wanted to put them there both for the fans.
Yeah.
Because they are special songs.
Special songs to him and for us.
Yeah. And that brings me back
But I still love it.
Yeah. It brings me back to the dress rehearsal when he sang it there.
Yeah.
It just was something magical and special.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was this version that he sung at the Under the Radar gig as well, this sort of more ambient mix.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of my favourite songs, so I think it's everyone's really, or not?
Yeah, it is.
I really like it. I think it's very notable that it's now appeared on 3 of Rob's albums.
Yeah.
So Take the Crown, Under the Radar 3, and more recently the orchestral version on XXV25. I reckon this must be one of his faves too. I know he said he does it for the fans, but yeah. And I remember talking about it on the Take the Crown episode, and what did I say? I said it was a classic intro, and it reminds me of U2 and some of their epic guitar intros. So I do like the ambient version, this version, but I do miss that sort of epic guitar intro at the beginning. But it's a different... It's not a different song, but I treat it separately, so I don't want to compare them, but I've just noticed that was a little bit different, and Don't Fall Apart Again, Don't Take My Heart. I mean...
Yeah. Good lines.
Brilliant song, epic.
The way he sings it.
How does it feel to be alone down there? I have that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, I wondered whether this was like an original sort of version and it got changed for Take the Crown by Jack Knightley.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah. These were tracks kept for himself, and then he wanted to show them to the fans. So this is a good opportunity to do so.
His vocal on this is really, really quite incredible as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a raspiness when he's singing Into the Silence that I'm not going to even try and repeat. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's a tone and a sound that just sounds so incredible when he's singing that.
Yeah.
That I think only he can do. So, yeah.
And I like how they're placed next to each other, like they are on Take the Crown as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we all like that one then. Okay. I'm beginning to think I might know what Sarah's favourites are, but we'll come to that part. Or favourites.
I have a few, but yeah.
The next song is the national anthem of Robbie, which was written by Rob and Guy and produced by Guy and Richard. It's based on the British patriotic song Land of Hope and Glory, which was written by Edward Elgar in 1901, with lyrics by A.C. Benson added in 1902. Elgar is an English composer, best known for orchestral works including the Pomp and Circumstance marches, of which this is one. This anthem is sung by the Crouch End Festival Chorus.
Rob said, it was a song where Guy had been on his bike somewhere in Eastern Europe and he came back and went, I've just been on my bike and I've written this. What do you think? It was the lyrics to God Save Our Robbie. It's an enduring image, Guy riding out around Europe on one of those drop bar bikes with a basket on it and one headphone in, thinking about these lyrics to an absolutely bonkers song.
You can imagine it.
Yeah, you can. I just thought it was incredible, hilarious, pompous, silly and whimsical in exactly the right amounts. It's a great foil to have that before the show because it gives me a giggle every time people are out there ready for the gig. It teases what is about to happen perfectly. It was written for the Heavy Entertainment Show tour. The anthem's been going down great in Las Vegas, especially the line, except in the US of A. Gets a huge laugh and a cheer, and the song is nearly ended by that point, and I'm up in the rafters waiting to come down to start the show. It gets a huge reaction, and it means a lot to me because I've already started interacting with the audience, even though I'm up there.
I love this song.
Yeah.
You bloody love it on the notes.
I bloody love it.
Bloody love it.
It's hilarious.
It is. Only Rob could do something like this.
Yeah.
No one could ever think of something like this.
Exactly.
Oh, when we first heard it, I mean, it would have been on the
thought-
tour, wouldn't it?
It was the
God, what is
dress
this?
rehearsal.
because it wasn't. Yeah, it was. It
Yeah.
wasn't sneaked out before or anything, was it?
No.
The dress rehearsal.
Oh,
Only
so
Rob
funny.
could do
my-
something like that.
Laughing our heads off.
It really makes you laugh. And of course, it's sort of ironic because his face that never ages, and in that time he
Yeah.
was doing Botox and things like that in his face, and
Yeah.
never want to age. And one day he will be knighted, and his work will be done.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, one day.
We
It'll
hope so.
But yeah, I think it's a good introduction to the show because people sort of like, oh God, what's Robbie doing? Yeah, okay, yeah. And then you just start the show. You got a good attitude.
I just think it's so Robbie-esque. I mean, Guy obviously knows the measure of Robbie as the Robbie character,
Yeah.
and it's just so ironic and so funny and just whimsical. As Rob said, it just works.
It does.
And I think the fans, it also built the moment because of the grandness of the pompous nature of the tune.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's sort of
My favourite line is, but would still make Rude Box and give rap a go.
Oh yeah,
It's always there.
yeah. I mean, every single line is just golden, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, just every really.
He is so well hung.
Yeah.
And when it's all considered, he still rules the throne.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it
Brilliant.
is something very quick. It's just automatic. It just gets to you, and nothing's repeated. Like we were saying before, he keeps liking repeating things. It's just right for the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
Very clever.
Yeah,
it is.
Very clever guy, if you're listening.
yeah.
Very well written. I don't know how you write songs when you're riding a bike, but I guess you have to stop and make a note, or maybe you just get them all in your head. We'll ask him about that when we eventually interview him.
One day, maybe.
You will. I think you will.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So, shall we move on to
Home Again.
Yes. Written by Rob, Rich, Calvin and Scott, produced by Rich. Rich described the writing of this song in our interview with him and his brothers, saying it was the song he'd worked on with Rob that he was most proud of. He remembers sitting in Universal Publishing playing it to them, crying because it makes him feel so emotional. Check out our interview with them if you haven't listened to it yet. Really, I know we go on about it, a really great interview. Definitely listen to that one.
Yes.
This song lost its song battle on the Vloggies and was only available on the super deluxe version of the album, and even then it wasn't on the actual CD. You could only download it with the gold alternate mix. Oh, sacrilege.
Rob said, there's a certain sadness attached to Stoke-on-Trent, because when you become incredibly famous and you stop being able to get around as freely as you did, you have to mourn the loss of a previous life. Just take my word for it, you can't get about, and it's not because you're now an arsehole or you are now a celebrity that has forgotten their past or forgotten where they've come from. It's just impossible on a daily basis to be a human being, whether that's because your life is threatened, which mine was many times, or you're the person that is on everybody's lips and everybody wants to have your attention. I mourned my previous life. There was a sadness and melancholy for a long time about who I was before I became famous, and then who I became when I became famous. And I suppose that Home Again is a fictitious story about me having anonymity and getting on the train at Euston and going back to Stoke in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the fact that he's famous, is it? He can't do what he used to do. And he has always talked about this stuff, saying, can't do that anymore and I can't do this, simple things. I think nowadays he's doing some of the stuff when he's travelling with his children in some places. So I think that's really precious for him to be able to do so in Paris.
Went to the supermarket recently.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did he?
I think it was it Ida's Insta?
Was it in Munich?
Was he? Oh, yeah, he went shopping, didn't he? And he got...
But it was all like
junk
sweets
food, of course it
snacks
is. Yeah.
and just going across the conveyor belt.
Yeah, the stuff he would buy. I would buy that stuff as well.
I'm assuming it was for the kids and not for him.
But, you know when you... But yeah, it made me think of when he was in Stoke and he went by the pub and he was in the car and he could see the blackboard outside saying, "Welcome home, Robbie." How he appreciated that they actually wrote that down with a chalk just outside the pub. Yeah. It was his home, and it made me think when we were, I don't know if you went up to that, what was it called? The cafe just up the hill?
No.
I can't remember her name.
Up the hill. Yeah, we did go up the hill.
What was her name? I can't remember her name.
We didn't go in it though.
Yeah, but all the locals were there, and we used to go there for breakfast when we were queuing, and everyone kept talking about Rob when he was young and when he came round and what he used to do. I used to live by his dad's and all that. And the following day, the same people were there. It's just as if it was stuck in time. You know, it was just, I don't know.
Surreal.
Yeah, surreal. Yeah. I really loved that. We kept on going there to get our coffee because we liked it.
Yeah. What do you think about the song Home Again?
I do love it. I do love it because it's Rob talking about himself, and it's really deep inside what he thinks and what he feels, and hoping that one day he'll be able to do what he used to do and be able to interact with the people he used to meet. And I think he can't even go to friends anymore, and they just have to go to him. So it's sad in a certain way because you can't do such things, but it is a price you have to pay for being so famous. And I also think, I don't know if that is the perception I have had in the past over here, but the tabloids and the newspapers were just following him everywhere and talking about him all the time. He didn't have any peace at all. So it was just hell at a certain point. So that's why he moved to LA, basically, did he? So I just hope he can I think he has found his places where he can do a normal life with his children, which is, I think, is very precious and what he can do. So it's a story about how things are, but it doesn't mean they can't change in the future. So
yeah.
But I do love it.
I love this song.
Yeah, I do love it.
It sends shivers down my spine.
Yeah.
It's as I said earlier, sacrilege that it's not on the actual CD.
Yeah.
It should be
there.
You know, it always annoys me if I put the CD in my car, because yes, I do still have a CD in my car that I use.
You are so lucky. You are so lucky.
And so I still play the CDs, and it always annoys me that Home Again isn't on it.
Yeah.
So when I do actually get to listen to it, if I'm listening to music through my phone, it's like, oh, it's Home Again. Oh, I just love it. And we don't even get the lyrics in the Super Deluxe booklet either. It's weird. It's like almost like this song doesn't exist. It's like, look, just chuck this one onto the email to send them to them as well, and that'll do. Sad, but it's stunning, I think, and completely overlooked. And also, Rob's vocals have a bit of an echo again, which makes it quite moving.
Yeah,
it sort of matches the theme of the song because he's looking back. So it's like an echo of how things used to be.
Yeah, where he used to sit watching football, and he actually mentioned that at the gig, didn't he? Where I used to sit over there. Yeah.
And Rich said in our interview with him as well, I think it should have been on the main album. It was good enough to be there. I feel a bit shortchanged, but it's not our decision.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. Matt, what do you think?
I don't think I can add much more than what you've already said. I mean, I just think it's a beautiful song. It's real storytelling at its best in a song. And it's a lovely song about being home in Stoke. And, you know, I can understand why it was so important to write it for him, and especially with Rich and Calvin and Scott, you know, who are fellow Stokies as well.
Yeah.
So, I like you. I think it should have got more airtime. It should have been more prominent, most definitely, because it really is a beautiful song.
More attention.
Yeah.
But maybe
at least we did receive it.
Yeah, we did. I'm just thinking maybe he just had the need to write it.
Yeah.
And then whether it was on the album officially or not, but he had this need to say something about it, and maybe.
And we will, for those people that are sort of scratching their heads going, I've never ever heard this, you know, because there's going to be a lot of you that probably haven't, or okay, maybe the hardcore fans, but I'll put a link on the RobbieWilliamsRewind.com episode page for this episode. So as we do with every episode, you can go and click the links and listen to the free versions on YouTube as well, or
which
Spotify or Apple.
Not even on Robbie's official YouTube. They haven't even got their song on there. No. You have to go to
so we've found
YouTubes.
a couple of copies. We'll put some links on for that. So great song, Home Again.
Love it. And I love his vocal on it as well. Sounds really crisp.
Yeah.
So I think we've come to the end of the album, haven't we?
Yes,
we have.
Oh, just to mention, obviously, Gold alternate mix. But as it basically sounds the same, I don't think we need to cover that.
There's no analysis to be done now. No, it's Gold.
But do you think this is one of the best Under the Radar albums?
I still like number one the best, but I would put this in second place for me, I think.
You probably do then from that question.
Well,
I'm assuming.
Because I've been listening mostly to this one, but when I'll go back to the first one, I will sort of switch them.
Yeah.
But it's just
that does happen. I can tell you through us doing the podcast. Obviously, we must listen to the albums
a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes 100 times, I would say, you know, before we do the actual, you know, like all over the place in the car, in the shower, working, whatever. And it does create a different impact on you when you listen to it over and over again and start really deeply analysing it, looking at the lyrics. It creates more of a meaning, actually.
Yeah, it does.
I can understand why you say that, because it's probably really got into your psyche.
Yeah, it has.
In a positive way. So, just before we wrap up this episode, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out. And also, Lucy and I would really appreciate it if you can leave us a star rating. You can do this on both Apple and Spotify podcasts. We would also love it if you could write us a short review, and you can do this on Apple. Don't forget, you can check out our episode notes for each episode and links to all tracks and videos at RobbieWilliamsRewind.com. You can also email us at email@RobbieWilliamsRewind.com. Please also follow and chat on our social channels. It's at RewindRobbie on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And you can also like and follow our Facebook page, Robbie Williams Rewind. And before we return to this episode, you might also consider sending us one of your own Robbie stories for the show. Just record a short audio clip on your phone and email it to us. Please check the website for more details. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
And I really love listening to the podcast because I learn a lot of stuff that otherwise I would have never heard about, or I don't know. It's just, it has brought a lot of information and thinking, and really appreciate it. I've really loved it. So you're doing a good job. You are really doing a really good job.
Oh,
There are
thank
some
you.
songs I've never heard of. I don't know which part of my life I was in and what I was doing and why, but it's just, you really get to know a lot more about Rob. So you're doing an amazing job doing this.
Thank you.
You are.
Well, now you've helped us to create part of it
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
I've
so
tried.
Appreciate you
I've
being
done my
on.
best. Took me a while to be brave enough, but yeah.
As Robbie said, you've got to be brave.
You
You're
gotta
always
be
confident,
brave.
but you've got to
That's
be brave.
true.
So we
Yeah.
live by that motto now.
Yes.
So
We need to choose our favourite song, don't we?
yeah, let's see. Obviously, it is tradition. Lucy and I'll have to argue it out who goes first from us, but it is tradition to let our guests go first. So, Sarah, what is your favourite track and why from this episode?
It has to be No Fucks.
Yeah.
It has to be No Fucks. It just gives me that feeling of freedom. It
Yeah.
just does. I'm not sure if Into the Silence has already been picked. I can't remember. It probably has,
I can't remember.
I don't
either,
know.
actually.
but I'm sure someone else will pick it. But
Yeah.
it has to be No Fucks.
Well, me and Matt both had No Fucks on our
Yeah.
shortlist. I can
We
see
have to
that.
shortlist just in case. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was number one. So we're
Yeah,
all
definitely.
unanimously agreed on that.
Go on.
Neither of us wants to go next.
Well, I think we'll be all right because
We picked different songs.
yeah. So from that point onwards, we've got different ones. So you can go next if you'd like. Why not?
Because I can't pick them because I love so many of them. I can't pick. That's my difficulty. So my shortlist is No Fucks, The Impossible, Home Again, and I Just Want People to Like Me.
Okay.
And I would actually even add Dirty Rotten into that list as well. It's grown on me a lot since listening to it again recently.
Oh, I see. Those aren't necessarily in order the way you've written them down.
No.
See, I thought it was a
Yeah.
slam dunk decision for
No.
Lucy. That's why I said go
Even I
first,
know
but-
Lucy can't put an order. She's got a
Well, you're
first
gonna have to.
20 random
Yes.
songs which she can't put in order.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you're against the clock. Come on.
well, all I'm thinking is I would like to pick Home Again because it's just something really special about it. But the problem is that is not on Spotify or Apple Music. So it can't be added to the playlist on there.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
As much as we search for it, it's not there.
yeah. So in that respect, I think I'm going to pick The Impossible.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you
Good.
two weren't that keen on that
Yeah.
one, but
Yeah,
I
but-
really like it.
Yeah.
Well, on my short list, so that's a good choice though.
you.
Wouldn't argue
Yes.
it. My short list was Gold and Indestructible,
Yeah.
and it has to be Gold.
It has to be gold.
I mean, I say has to be. I was a bit like you. It's very hard to choose because this is quite an eclectic mix of different songs. So each one has got something in their own right.
Yeah.
So it's hard to narrow it down. But yeah, Gold.
Good choice.
Yeah.
It is a great song.
It is. It is. I actually had gold, No Fucks. I Just Want People to Like Me, Hunting for You, and Into the Silence. So
Nearly
you
all
had
of them.
too many.
a load of songs as
Too
well.
Too many.
There's too many good songs on this
Yeah.
album.
But yeah.
So we better say what's happening in the next episode.
Mm.
We have got Jocelyn from the USA, who was also on our Swings Both Ways episode,
Yeah.
and she's going to talk to us about the Las Vegas dates,
Ooh.
as well as a few more collaborations like The Boy in the Dress musical and Strange Days with the Struts.
Yeah.
Ah.
Should be good.
Good. So Sarah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. It has been amazing. I had a great
Yeah.
time. It was good.
It's really nice, as you said at the beginning to us, about just spending some time in Robbie Land talking about Robbie, especially Under the Radar. And we knew that you wanted to do this one, so
Yeah.
we're really happy to have you on. And it's always nice to queue with you.
Yeah.
Always see your smile like coming towards us.
Yeah.
You're always happy and smiling in the queue, and always up for a good laugh. So
Yeah.
we enjoy queuing with you.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure. And I like smiling,
And many
as
and
everyone
many
knows.
more to come. You do. Yes.
I do. Look at
Smile
me.
of the
so-
world smiles with you, isn't it?
That's true. That's true. Well,
So
good.
I think we may see you on a tour at some stage.
Yes.
Or the next tour. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows where we might end up?
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Robbie Williams Rewind.